And here we go.
Aloha. Sparking Deutsch, everyone? Anyone?
Hello, all.
We are live.
Not alive, just live.
I mean, some of us are alive.
I'm still
I
drooling
try
off
to be
one from
alive.
getting
Does that
knocked
count?
unconscious.
That's fair.
Some of us are questionable.
I just figured out I had access to something I don't remember having access to, and I'm okay with this.
Interesting.
So sorry.
Anyway, should I kick us off?
Yeah?
Yes.
Do it.
Alright, so we are just coming off of a long rest. What happened all the entirety of the day yesterday. In session 10, we fought against a bunch of farts and gnolls that, the keep got invaded twice, essentially, the day before. Once by an army of farts and gnolls, the other one was some fiends that came in disguised as guards. The party had annihilated everything with the exception of 21 farts and 8 gnolls, which Zeps has now claimed and recruited to be his army of darkness. I don't know if Zeps ever actually came up with a name for his army, but he has one fart that follows him around. His name is Gerald. And another thing that happened the day before, this was at the end of session 10, so not exactly last session, but Echo found out that Janeway is a doppelganger. The real Janeway is Cease, and we all know that Alex knew about it. Echo also later on during session 11 found out, overheard a conversation between Alex and Jane when they were discussing about the bell tower, and Jane was talking to Alex, be like, no, I don't want you to go down there. Alex is like, I kind of have to. If I don't come back, you're in charge. And he gave the keys over to Jane. That's after getting them from Akua, who was invisible during the fart fight, and decided to swipe Alex's keys. The fiends that we fought in session 11 ended up being the same people who stole the circus beast during session 1, so now we have all those creatures back, so that's one thing out of the many things in our party solved.
Because apparently we weren't supposed
My
to
mission
kill
is
them
over.
initially.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to kill the head honcho guy. Speaking about the head honcho guy, he got crit 4 times, so he died.
He got a lot of crits.
He dropped 2 magical weapons. One is a dagger that now is claimed by Bellfire, and the other is a magical katana that the party decided not to touch for the night. Tren put it into his bag of holding for safekeeping for the night until the morning. Again, the party is coming off of a long rest, and that is how we begin our session. Is there anything important I missed?
Nope, not that I can think of.
Zeps has, however, named his group just now.
Yeah.
Also, Wings of Retribution.
Yes. Other than that, you all remain standing still in the keep.
We took a long rest.
That's true. Before you guys went to bed,
Okay.
Jane just kind of cracks her neck a little bit. So I'm just kind of looking over towards both Echo and Trenton. I'm going to be honest, I don't think we need the creatures anymore since we figured out what it's coming from. And she's just kind of thinking about it.
Can we put them in the treasury so I can just send them back to the circus so they'll have more animals?
Yeah, that's fine. Here, I'll lead you over that way. And she just pulls you off. Alex just kind of tilts his head, reaches for his belt, looks at the keys, looks out the door.
I thought he gave the keys to Jane.
No, Jane kept them back.
No. He was trying to give the keys to Jane and discovered them stolen.
I thought he gave it to them afterwards.
If he did, I forgot.
And
you guys
guys
just see a small little ghostly hand just start carrying the keys through the room, trailing after them.
Am I unconscious for this, or am I back up?
You, to my knowledge, Echo picked you back up.
Yeah, because I need the alcohol.
Echo healed.
She made sure to pick you up
like
first.
right after that fight.
Yeah.
And then Janeway tapped a couple of people for simple paladin heals.
Well, that wasn't pleasant at all.
What happened?
He was knocked unconscious. He was on death saves.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Coercion went down during
No,
the
this is
fight.
Alex looking at you. What
Oh,
happened to
That
you?
sword basically ignored some of my armor. So I'm like, I started bleeding under the armor without it fracturing it.
Oh. Oh my.
That,
What?
Also, I can just smell the
goes to-
evil radiating off of that sword. It is not.
You
to be
say that
trifled
as he goes to pick it up and just kind of flickers it around. No, I can see it. This got a good edge though. He just kind of taps it slightly.
with. I don't like it. Gives me all sorts of bad vibes.
This is happening before I identify it, I presume.
This is probably as you're casting it. Doesn't have to.
Oh.
Yeah.
While I'm trying to identify it, Alex is playing with it.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's just looking at it. It's like, so. Hmm.
Okay, that's good. I got a nat 20 for my concentration check to identify it while it's being manipulated.
and Zeps is saying, but it's alright. I can control the bleeding before it got any worse.
Well, that's good. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think to ask about that.
It still isn't fun having your skin randomly split open.
Alex just kind of holds up a finger. Never mind. So, did you find out what this does, Trenton?
Yes, and I'll start to giving him a full description, including the evil.
If you would like to read the description out loud, or at least your best iteration of that in world.
Sure. Give me a quick second to go look up the notes.
Find where the sword is. I believe it's pinned and at the tavern.
It is. It should be
I think
pinned
it's
in the
pinned.
tavern. It should be pinned. I know Jax did it.
Yeah, there it is.
And he as and while you're doing that, I'm gonna crack that.
So it appears to be a demon katana, as demon as in the soul of a demon god has been imbued or enchanted somehow into it. One of the things that allows is the welder can once per day use that soul and give themselves an extra turn, boosting their speed by 15 as well. Also, it gives them ability on a critical hit to cause that target to bleed for a significant amount of damage that is uncontrollable until they're either stabilized or dead. It's a very significant amount of damage on hit, typically. Upwards, probably usually at least 5 to 20 plus damage on most hits, from what I can tell of the sharpness. Also, it does require someone with consider charismatic abilities to even wield it, because if they don't have sufficient charismatic abilities, they are going to be having to essentially contest the soul every time the sword is drawn to be welded.
I understood about 50% of that, says Gorgon.
But
I understood sword bad causes a lot of damage, and it friggin'
sword bad.
And
actually, no, correction. Sword really good. Bad thing inside it.
Yes, that.
Yes, and if I'm getting what the spell is telling me and what we observed in the fight correct, there is a very good possibility that you, especially if you aren't strong enough in character and such, the evil god is going to take over, and it will be in charge rather than you in charge of the sword.
I say we should just seal it away again.
But
Yeah,
if
I don't
sword
know
do
how to.
big damage, why can't Sakura use sword?
Because we don't want
Akuro-
Akura to lose her sense of self or will.
His.
His.
Akuro might not be Akrua anymore.
Would
after a
somebody read
short-
off
after-
Zep's thing for me, please?
Oh,
Is
he's
that
just saying you get used to it.
I was about to say, I
scars.
believe this was talking to Coercion specifically.
yeah? Zep's 2 portion says, "I know it's not, but you get used to it." Lifting some of his feathers in the chest area to reveal some scars. Oh, for the sword from the
Yeah.
skin splitting.
Yeah.
hence why I said it then before we got too far away.
No, it's not something you should be getting used to. I'd prefer not to be in combat in general. I'd prefer not to have a time plague on our hands. But here we are!
Just looks over at the cook, who is in fact not so much of a cook. He's a great cook, also good at other things.
I'd rather just be in the kitchen
Not in combat,
doing
yes.
my cooking and
He just
not having to
him
fight
further.
for my life constantly, but here we are.
But anyway,
Not fighting for life constantly is something that Akura would appreciate.
I don't
Alex
really
just
know
kind of pulls it
much
aside.
about sealing the weapon to prevent its access.
I wouldn't
such.
worry about that.
Oh,
As long as you're all okay with me taking it.
Works
At which point he starts pulling the sheath off the other guy and trying to get it into that.
If friends say sword is bad and Akura cannot use sword, Akura give sword.
I'm sure we can find you an even better sword than that one, Akura.
And
One that won't try to take over your mind.
It takes him a couple moments to get it loose, and he eventually just says, he apparently says,
Zeps is saying, well, if you live a tough life away from the boonies, especially when you have to work for the family, when your father was kidnapped by some random group. Well, you live a tough life when you're from the boonies. There you go. Especially when you have to work for the family when your father was kidnapped by some random group.
There were cultists in my basement, and the whole secret entrance were hidden from me for my entire life. So, I feel like I can relate in some capacity. Both completely different, but not.
Yes, you just were fortunate not to be made aware of or have to deal with those problems that were occurring under your nose. Now you have to deal with much more than you even ever expected to. Yes,
it's like
you thought you were just getting a nice tavern business to run.
He did. It's a great tavern.
That's all he thought he was getting. I is my understanding.
Well,
and we're apparently learning he's got a bit more than that to deal with.
He's got a lot to deal with, apparently, because there's so many secrets. Like a whole... the entire sewer system is apparently a issue for later.
Zeps is saying, I can relate with the burden of your past coming to haunt you all too well.
I'd rather it didn't. Can we just try to solve at least one of these burdens of past and just work our way down the list first? One at a time, please.
Yes.
Well, if we're working... Alex, as he's starting to step away, well, if you're working to solve burdens of the past, he finally manages to do some weird knotting with straps to hold this thing in its scabbard. There we go. I think that's how they did that. And he just kind of tucks it under one arm. Those of you who are still there can see he's essentially just tied it into the scabbard somehow. Perhaps we should focus on something a bit more important than random bodies. If you guys wouldn't mind dealing with these, he gestures at a couple of the guards that are finally starting to come into the room. Took you long enough? I will cast a couple of things on the castle, make sure nothing else manages to slip in. And then perhaps we should all focus on the original problem of the bell. Yes?
Yes.
Crow just nods.
The bell.
Without saying anything.
Don't worry.
If you're confident that with the plan that we discussed, you can get us into the tower from the room down below, I think that would be an excellent plan for tomorrow.
I do believe so, yes.
That also says, "Don't worry, I can help to remove the bodies." Zeps waves his hand towards the undead to help them assist in body removal.
Oh, right, because he...
Oh yeah, I forgot you had a couple of those. As some of the bodies actually stand up, finally. You see that said guards' hands drop to their swords, and they're like... just kind of looking between...
I feel like Akrua would too.
Corjan just kind of looks at Zeps like, why are you this way?
Looking at Zeps, looking at towards Alex, looking at Zeps, looking at Alex, and like... What do you want me to do? Not all necromancers are evil.
Not sure he's a necromancer per se.
Most of them, and he's a cleric.
Healing is necromancy magic.
Exactly. Like resurrection, for example.
Zep says, "What can mean by that? I'm a harmless traveling cleric." Harmless.
A traveling cleric who
harmless
raises the dead.
That's a lie.
Considering what we've seen you do in combat, I'm not quite sure I'd call you harmless.
I call him a weaponized rocket-powered harpoon.
I thought he was
on our side and safe to consider an ally.
I still think we need to rebuild
not
the
harmless
so we can launch him out of it.
I mean, as
says, "Oh, pish posh, that was nothing."
Pieces still. So if you guys would like to make a, if anyone has profession engineering or siege equipment or something of that type, great. And otherwise, just go with straight intelligence checks.
I'm looking directly at the only person here who
that's a nat one. Crew, I don't know shit.
Well,
that would be Triton /
technically a crew.
That's a nat one for Akrua. Akrua don't know shit.
Oh, so Akrua is more big bogo twang.
That's what I thought, yeah. Trenton and Zeps are the ones who could actually put that thing back together.
I don't know Zeps' intelligence. I forgot most of you guys' stat rolls.
Zeps is constantly buried in books. I figured he had at least something in intelligence. Versus...
That's fair.
Wait, hold up.
Versus Corjan, who has an intelligence of 11. He's not dumb,
no, Akrua has higher intelligence than Corjan.
Trenton will go look at...
Akrua's intelligence score
for a little
is 13.
And then with a roll of 22 goes... I might be able to put this back together, but I think it'll take a fair bit of time.
That's why I still make intelligence score rolls, just because I know there are 2 people in the party who have lower than Akrua. Because I'm like...
Yeah, nobody has higher than me.
Yeah.
It is technically impossible, yes. Technically.
For the party. Can Alex have more than me?
Possibly.
Yes. He's old enough and experienced enough that he might have some training that allows him to increase his intelligence beyond mine.
Anyway, Alex at this point steps away. Echo. Yourself and Janeway have approached the vault, and she opens it up. You see in it, since you're actually looking at it now rather than paying attention to
her. Can we also just say that Jane dragged Echo away without the keys to open the treasury that she needs the keys for?
No. The hand floated them to them.
I know, but Jane didn't know that when she walked off.
No, she didn't. Just kind of slumped slightly. Oh yeah. And she just kind of gestures inside. Pick a spot pretty much wherever. They don't look like anything else in there, I believe. As you look inside Echo, there are various chests stacked up. several shelves, a few of which have some bars of some kind of metal you've never seen, at least not off the top of your head. You see some random stuff on a few of them. Some rings, a couple of what you're pretty sure are javelins, but they look really weird.
I put them in the back corner, hidden.
Just like behind stuff.
Unless there's a chest there, and then I'm going to put it in the chest and see if I can lock it.
There are several small chests that are open and clearly empty, yes.
Will the bag fit?
Easily. This is a stack of... Well, as stated, they're essentially pancakes. You have what, 12 of them? No, there's no cats in there.
Someone decided she actually wants attention today.
Oh my
Finally.
God. Really?
Yep.
Meanwhile, Zep says, I can assist and gather materials for it. I don't know much about these mechanized contraptions.
That's fair.
She's purring and she's
Trenton
on my
would
lap.
reply,
One of the people
well,
will tear it down.
I haven't played with this particular product before, but I have been tinkering with quite a few things over the years.
I know more about herbal remedies, though. If you ever need medical attention, I'm your bird. Beyond the natural and supernatural worlds, I don't know much.
That's fair.
Yeah, I've been known to do quite a bit of tinkering, and kind of looks around at his weapon, at his armor.
Artificer showing off.
Briefly glances over at Akrua.
Yeah.
Considering that he tinkered with her clothes. Effectively.
His.
Or his clothes, yes. His clothes. Effectively going, yeah, I tinker a bit. So my tinker's just a little bit magic based.
Yes.
He does also take out some of his smith tools and tap at various pieces with various smithing tools to evaluate the quality of the material left.
It's okay. It's actually decently well made and everything. It's just you have the sneaky suspicion it was not taken apart by
correct methods. Correct methods.
Echo, how were you locking that chest, by the way?
Don't I have a spell for that?
There is a spell called Wizard Lock, yes.
Can I just do that?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
And I assume you leave after that?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, and Jane just kind of drags you off towards the library. You said something about drinks, and she pulls a bottle out from under her arm.
Yes.
They raided the kitchen. Corson's gonna have a cow.
Senses.
He's like,
the question
I'm
is,
missing alcohol
did Jane
suddenly.
raid your kitchen, or is this from a stash that Jane already had?
Knowing the track record, they definitely raided the kitchen.
But this is Janeway.
I stand by my statement.
Is this a rule pigeon sense moment?
Hey, you knew Echo was taking alcohol regardless what was going on. You already knew this.
No, I didn't. I'm pretty sure I was unconscious when you were like, I need a drink.
No, at the beginning, before battle, I messaged you. I sent a message into your head. Alcohol stat now.
Right, she did.
Indeed.
She
And
did.
then
did the no gesture, so I read your throat.
Busy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You set my VTuber. Because I can't move to adjust my camera.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. I'm leaned back, but I can't lean forward now because how she's laying.
So, you guys are now standing in the kitchen area basically alone, by the way.
Now will we go take a long rest, or?
Yes, assuming that you don't have anything else.
I don't think so.
I don't get anything else.
Nope.
All right. So you guys all go into your various rooms, and then some of you realize something very important. Some of you
They
don't
weren't
have a
side
specific
rooms?
room.
Yeah.
What?
I seen them sitting down in the hallway, and I was like, wait, these guys never got rooms, did they?
So Jane Echo is somewhere off with Janeway. There we go. That solves those two. Bellfire, Trenton, and Zeps officially never picked bedrooms.
I thought Zeps lived in the rafters.
He did.
He is a
But
goblin.
Zeps is in a random spot on the map. Got it.
I thought he was like in the stable rafters, I thought.
I honestly do not know.
Trenton didn't get a room at any time?
Nope.
You haven't actually been here for a long rest. The last time you guys took one was out at the inn.
Tavern.
That place.
Zach Virgin's Tavern was our
Yep.
last long rest.
No. We had
Yeah.
one. No, we had
Nope.
one
No,
when
That
we
was
were
went down into the
underground.
thing and we hid in her bubble.
Oh, right, the hut.
Yeah.
The hut in the basement.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you guys have not actually had a nice long rest in this keep yet.
I thought we did, because I remember I curled up in Akura's room at one point.
I think you did curl up in Akura's room, but I don't.
She did. No,
I
there was
thought
long
Trenton-
rest. Where was Trin for that?
Where was Trenton for that?
Because I know
think
Sabayan and
Trenton
Trilla
picked a
were
room.
guards that night.
We'll just put you in a random one. Bellfire, would you
I
like
don't
one
remember what room, but I thought Trenton had picked a room at one point.
Bellfire, any particular room, or you just want to crash somewhere else?
Zeps
Zeps
has
has
the
the
bell
tower.
tower. We don't have the bell tower. Unless the keep has bell tower.
The keep does have a bell tower, but it doesn't have a bell.
Zeps heads to the bell tower and continued to study his rune books and decipher the meanings, rearranging the runes to make different combinations.
Make an Arcana check.
Wait, is the rune book the one he got from Akrua?
No. Yes.
Because he did get a book from Akrua.
Where did you get that book? I don't remember. I honestly don't know.
Yes, I have multiple rune books. He just has a book.
But yeah, just Arcana check.
Because I know Akrua gave him a book.
Echo, anything in particular you want to talk about or to Jane Witt about or nah?
About Peter.
Mhm.
And then she gets the bright idea to try to contact Peter directly.
Also
drunkenly.
Arcana.
What? Oh no. Can I reach my dice without disturbing the cat?
Nope, sorry, Zeps, you fail.
Oh no, I disturbed the cat. No!
Yep, Zeps, so sorry, that totally failed.
Yeah, that failed.
I got
It
pictures
was
of it, it's
a 30 DC, or was it 35?
It was actually a DC
Come on, OG
70.
dice.
Oh, DC 70. Okay.
Yeah. We're playing 3rd edition, guys. Didn't you know that?
17.
17 total?
Yeah, I don't have any bonuses to Arcana
Okay.
until I get the feat.
Gotcha. All right, so the two of you who are doing a little bit as you rest, I don't know what everybody else is up to.
I'm sleeping.
I imagine Corsian is probably coming up with fun recipes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I thought we were all sleeping.
Pretty much. So a long rest is technically only about 4, maybe 5 hours of sleeping.
Okay.
And then the rest of whatever, spellcasters tend to meditate or memorize spells out of their book, etc. Anyway,
I tinker with my armor and think about what I can do for modifications.
Then you have a crow who's literally just taking a cat nap, but literally.
I'll put you in a catnap, it's a spell.
it actually is a spell.
Corsian questions
I know it's a
existence
spell.
and how he went from being a cook to on the front lines in battle.
Zeps is apparently creating a token of life and changing spells.
That's fine. For Zeps, shifting around the rooms and whatnot, you actually come up with some fun combinations. And as you're like, I wonder what would happen if this... And then as you start to rewrite one, no, that would make it explode. And you just gently set it down while you try to think of another rune to put there.
Oh no, I got to dismiss the alarm so she doesn't get too upset, spaghetti.
Could be useful for later. You do remember it, yes. As far as Echo goes, you're definitely getting very large amounts of interference on all of the various sending spells that go further than sight, just about. You do, however, quite quickly realize that it's not so much that they're not working as they're going elsewhere, and hence simply not going where they're supposed to. The most you can do is you do manage to you do notice a fairy circle nearby, just about 4 or 5 miles out of town. You're very certain you could send a message through if you got to it.
Jane, you want to go on an adventure?
On that note, I need context for you.
Okay.
Oh no.
3 of them, please.
19 on die.
I do want to point out that you are well out of range.
Very much out of range.
So you're not getting any saving throw boosts.
19, 20, 21, 22. 22 for the first roll.
Okay.
19 again. So another 22.
Shot.
And a 9. So plus 9 to 11, 12.
Alrighty.
What's your modifier for con?
3.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. She's actually smart and put a correct stat into con, unlike me. My second character I ever made had a negative con stat.
Oh no!
He was a ranger too.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I was very new at that game at that point, but it was Pathfinder 1E, and that poor ranger had
being
a
on the
negative
tower.
1 to
Does he
con.
notice anything with eyes of magic?
That's painful. Do you mean just like around town? You don't notice anything specifically, no.
There's like general uses of magic.
Hey, but my roll progression was correct for alcohol. First and second shot are fine, and then it goes down the hole at the third.
No, you see some very all sorts of magic being cast out in the temple area as the clerics are still trying their best to hang on to as many people as they can. You see a few flickers and whatnot here and there throughout the streets. Some of the buildings actually seem to have enchantments on them of various wards and whatnot. Why did my camera just flash green? Actually, roll perception for me. And then we'll switch back to Echo and Company really quick. Apparently. $17? Okay. You actually notice some kind of magic going on one of those ships out in the harbor that nobody recognizes. it takes you a little bit, at least from where you are, but you can eventually tell that it is a very large amount of necromancy magic is pouring off of them. And then you realize you're also seeing various smaller bits of it moving around inside the main. Though, as far as why you hadn't noticed before, looking a little less closely, so to speak, you notice that they are under some form of illusionary field. That would be a stealth check. While you're doing that, Echo! By the time you come up with the great idea to go off on an adventure, you are quite drunk. You see Janeway kind of chuckle. Perhaps not right now. Mostly just because you are supposed to go out for that bell tower with everyone else tomorrow.
But I want to send a message to Peter!
I have a feeling that's actually more coherent than Echo would have been.
Probably.
Come on, even when I'm trashed, that's how I talk.
This is true. You're not, but you're also way easier to dirty 20. All right, good to know. Anyway, well, wait, is that what you've been trying to do all night? Was that a yes?
I believe that's Echo drunkenly nodding.
All right, and she just kind of looks a little bit sheepish as she just pulls something out of one of her belt pouches. Well, in that case, you could just use this message box.
Message box?
Yes, it's how I contacted the carnival in the first place.
They tried contacting me and they couldn't get. They barely got shoot at me, and it was when I was asleep.
This doesn't go technically. This isn't specifically a message sending box. It's more correctly, you put something in it and it goes somewhere. What about sheep?
Sorry, talking.
Okay. So if you would like to write one, it should get to them.
How soon?
At most a day, maybe 3.
Oh, that's so long.
Probably just long enough for you to go accomplish the other thing.
Oh, this is so annoying. Fine, give me paper.
She just kind of pulls a few more things out of pouches.
Oh god, what is she gonna...
Now, I guess make an intelligence check while I cut back to hate for a second.
Is it intelligence or dexterity?
Or is this a... Well, no, it's an intelligence check. It's a dex save.
Wouldn't it be a concentration check?
I think that's a con save.
I rolled a 17. What do you want me to put it in?
Somehow maintain focus for coherency.
And
your choice.
I think concentration checks would be fitting.
Hayes, as you fly in and out of the clouds, trying to get closer and closer, you quite quickly realize that this is a very, very well done field. If you hadn't been looking with magic eyeballs, you wouldn't have ever noticed the difference. But now that you're looking, you can see the water waves are just slightly off time. And as you dip just inside of it so you can actually see the ships, you see that it is just 2 not the 3 that you believed originally were there. But they're very, very large. One of them is almost a barge, in fact. Alrighty. The barge is full of various manner of undead simple troops. Mostly skeletons and zombies, though you do see some higher end ones there, like a couple of wights and things. All just standing there. Most of the movement is coming from the other ship, which is you're not actually quite sure, not being familiar with boats, but it is a smaller one, clearly designed more for speed and comfort than anything else. And resting on deck, just sitting in a chair, watching out over the town, is what you believe to be an elf. This one very, very dark-skinned, just sitting there sipping some kind of drink slowly, not really seeming to care about anything nearby. And as you flutter around just inside the field, you notice that they are probably the ones channeling the illusion spell, as you see just a little trickle of magic coming from them and some finger gestures now and then. Where are my d20s? There's one. For the rest of you, roll sleeping rolls.
What is that? You said
I'm joking.
What?
I'm so sorry.
Haha,
Wait.
I got a 19 to sleep.
Excellent job. You're sleeping like the dead.
I got a 15.
Even better.
I got
Anyone who rolls
18.
a 1 actually is dead.
I have an 18 on the dice. I'm not sure what I'm adding to that.
You're not. You're just rolling.
If you critically fail sleep, wouldn't that mean that you're getting a bunch of nightmares or something, or you have insomnia?
Yes, actually. It would.
Wonderful.
Before I go to sleep, could I make some poison with my poisoner's kit?
Yeah.
No.
That's a very simple roll.
Okay. Do I just roll for it?
It is. You do indeed.
That's just adding what?
It's whatever you roll plus your proficiency bonus in, as long as you have poisoner's kit proficiency.
Yeah. I rolled a 19, so that's a 22.
Okay. You make a decent poison. I believe there's 2 different levels in the player's handbook. You get the second one. 2 vials of it.
Stop saying my sleep is I'm a nocturnal bird.
That's true. Do you want the party or do you want to go solo? I will again remind you, though, as it dims in your mind, aren't we supposed to be doing something the next day?
Maybe I should go sleep.
I'm just saying. But it is good information to have, yes? I suppose, of course, in Zep's case, the question is, did you write it down?
I mean, in theory, Zeps writes everything.
Exactly. So it shouldn't be too problematic. But Zeps is not typing right now. So, Echo, what did you end up deciding to roll?
I don't know. I got 17 on die. You choose.
I mean, that would be a dirty 20 for Constitution.
Yeah. If you let me roll charisma because I'm faking not being drunk, it's a 22. No,
this would not be a charisma check.
Nah, it's mostly you trying to actually write.
This would have to either be a concentration, which would be maybe intelligence, or
That's just straight saving.
constitution.
That would be a dirty 20.
All right. Whatever kind of letter you were attempting to write went through all right. It simply is a little bit difficult to read in places.
With a 17 on die.
Yes.
It's
most
I mean, you're still drunk.
You kind of bombed that one roll.
Oh, my 9.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm guessing you have a negative or 2 to your roll due to drunkenness.
Everything went well overall. It's just
some of the handwriting was a little bit off.
Some of the handwriting was a little bit off. Very shaky. But you did well overall. The words were perfectly worded.
So she actually chose a well-spoken message.
Yes.
To write.
As Zebs is apparently drawing his holy symbol on some paper and slipping it. Do you drop it on them, or are you trying to fly close to them and slip it into their pocket?
Yeah, that could go.
Oh, like okay, so you're just doing it quickly.
He's saying he's going to like zoom by, drop it while he's like zooming by.
Yep.
That's how I'm reading it.
I agree. Well, make a acrobatics check.
I don't think at your speed you're not going to be able to do a sleight of hand to get into your clothes. The best you're going to probably be able to do is drop it on their lap.
Yeah.
Is my suspicion. Unless you take like a negative 10 or 15 penalty to your sleight of hand roll. I'm not going to make the decision for the DM, but that's my suspicion of the difficulty of that type of maneuver. And what I know.
Yeah, it's similar.
Whereas a flyby drop it in the lap is an acrobatics at your speeds.
But yes, definitely acrobatics. On Echo's case, you get the message written, you drop it in the box, and you hear this sound after Janeway shuts the lid. See, there you go. I just wouldn't recommend putting anything you don't mind losing in it. And she just kind of chuckles and sticks it back in her pouch. She just kind of waves her hand in front of your face. I do believe, yes. It just pokes you over as you kind of roll back into one of the wizard's beds. Well, bed rolls. Echo.
What? I'm not on anime TikTok right now and doing things I'm not supposed to be doing.
You're being talked to.
You have been pushed over into a wizard's bed. Go to sleep.
No!
3 insight roll from player.
No sleep.
Okay.
No.
Zeps, as you just dive bomb this elven wizard, he suddenly you see his head tilt upwards to look at you and tilt slightly. That's a very large dive. Oh, hello. And he just kind of shifts suddenly and out of the way. May I help you? No? All right.
But the question is, did he drop the holy?
Oh, he dropped it on. He dropped it on him, no problems.
Okay.
But did he sleight of hand it into his clothes like he's trying?
I think.
He's saying he got a nat 20 plus 2 for sleight of hand.
So did he roll 2 different times? Because he only got 18 on acrobatics.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking as. He rolled twice.
The message got delivered perfectly well. He just happened to notice him as he came in. Interesting. He didn't seem to notice the piece of paper, at least not yet. I'll have to let the captain know the owls in this town are growing quite large. And I dropped my d20. So, Echo, are you attempting to fight Slumber?
Yes.
That would be a con save.
I rolled a nat 1.
And she's out like
You're out. You're out.
Lights off.
A fitting
Good night.
end to Echo's drunken night.
And she's fine, and she's fine.
She is not fine.
She's going, gone. Where did my d20 go? Help! There it is. I found it. We're fine. Everything's good here. Oh. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you, Zeps, for that. You fly back to the keep after that. All right. So, you get back to the keep, no problems. You do notice as you were flying away, his eyes follow you just a little bit. Yes, definitely need to let the captain know of that one. You can clearly hear him say again. Farewell, Sir Owl. And then he just kind of goes back as you lose sight of him through the field again. But right before somebody else can do that one.
Zeps is yelling, "Woo!"
Or is it a who?
You're right.
That's a good question.
You're right. That is a great question.
Is it a woo or a whoo?
That's a whoo.
Anyway.
Gotta play the part.
Yeah, you really do some days. Roll. It's not technically deception. Roll yeah? It's either performance or persuasion. I don't know which. It's not technically deception, though.
Yes, roll for performance.
Yeah, let's go performance.
It might accidentally come out as a meow.
Roll for one.
Meow.
Like when those it's like one of those howl yowls from a.
Oh
no!
He did.
He meowed.
Well, it wasn't a one, so it's still something that sort of sounds like a who. So we could go with moo.
Moo.
He just yells moo as he flies.
Or he actually says woo, and it's very close, but not quite.
Meow. It's like one of
At
those
which point
cat
you
yells,
distinctly hear a slamming of what sounds to be a head hit a table from off it behind you. All right then. So as you get back to the keep, rest back in your empty bell tower of stuff that's yours only at the moment. And you all get settled for a nice long rest, except Echo, who's already asleep.
No.
Yup. You don't have a choice. You're knocked out.
As you guys are all asleep, your
Very
dreams
good
are mostly quite fitful, except for those of you who already know otherwise.
Yay, more nightmares.
Yay!
I wouldn't call them nightmares, perhaps. As you all wake up one by one, just slowly, some of you with headaches. Echo, you don't actually recognize where you are.
In a sleep dream?
No, more correctly, you're awake. You just don't know where
Oh.
in the castle you are.
Oh, okay.
And more importantly, I oops even put somebody in the wrong room. There we
Who
go.
threw me in the
There
bed?
you
I
go.
wasn't paying attention.
Jane.
Chainway.
Jane.
She put you in a bedroll in the library, I thought.
That's where she was originally.
Oh, and then Janeway moved her to a bed later?
Yep.
But you said a
Oh,
wizard
well.
said that to me.
No, I said
No,
you
it was
were
Jane.
pushed into a wizard's bedroll.
Oh.
When you went unconscious, then after you're unconscious, apparently, Janeway then moved you to a actual bedroom and tucked you into bed.
I was drunk and I was still.
That would be a con save. Last one, I promise.
I got a 10, so it's 13.
You're okay, actually. You've got a very slight headache.
Hangover.
Whatever, but you don't actually remember what you were told you were drinking. Not that you asked.
Drink the alcohol, ask questions later when sober.
Okay, I'll take a look at that. As you wake up personally, you see Janeway's sitting in front of essentially a bureau. Her helmet's off to one side, just kind of hanging on the chair. Her armor's not even entirely on yet. And you can see she's trying to mess with what looks like a bandage on one arm and getting it in a slightly different place. Good morning.
Did you snuggle last night?
Pardon?
Well, this is clearly probably your room.
Oh. Oh, no. It is my room, yes, but no, I just slept over here in my chair, and she just points at a really, really comfy-looking chair in one corner.
Lame. I hop out of bed and just try to cast a healing spell on her arm that she has bandaged.
Roll a medicine check.
I rolled a 9. Plus my medicine, which is a 2, so 11.
Wait, which window? I need to know.
Yes.
Whose window?
Exactly.
That's it. The one in the room she's in? Best guess? Make a... No, you would know which window's which.
You would know which one Alex's is. Because
Yes.
we've all been in Alex's.
And as you two are talking, and you see her shift her arm very slightly away, but you grab it anyway. And she just sags slightly. You shift the bandage so you can more easily clear it, and you're like, wait, that's not actually a wound.
Okay.
And it is her entire left arm from about 3-4 inches below the shoulder looks very much like a demon's arm. Hello? It's an old curse.
Okay.
Thank
Spell
you, though.
curse.
You mean remove curse?
Yes. Do I even have access to that yet?
I believe it's a level 3. But you need to roll a d20. 18 minus? Oh, for athletics?
I rolled a 16. What else did I need on that?
I don't remember, actually. Hold that thought.
I'm pulling it up. I don't have my spells up yet.
Yeah, I don't remember what remove curse does in 5th.
Oh, so you're saying Zeph's does equal split to the window?
Oh, yeah, strength. You right. Oh, it is not a 3rd level spell.
I think it's a second, isn't it?
I didn't see it there.
It's a touch. It's an instant.
Oh, you found it?
All curses affected one creature or an object, and this object is a cursed magic item. Its curse remains, but the spell breaks if its owner's attunement to the object.
Oh. No, yeah, it's not even a roll. Never mind. Why is that the way? You said it was a 16?
Yeah, but 16 for strength for Zeph's.
Okay.
And I rolled a 16 on die.
And you got a 16 as well. All right. You see it actually overtake a good amount of the arm, and it drops down to about the elbow. But that's where it remains. Yes, that. And she just kind of looks up at you. And as you guys burst through or are doing this, suddenly the window explodes behind you. And a giant bird flies through. Now, just excuse me one moment. Oh, yeah, that's fun. Echo, you were suddenly shoved backwards behind something across, all the way across the room. Gently, but you quickly notice something just got and you notice Janeway's other arm just threw something really hard. Which you're pretty sure is her helmet, as Steph takes let's see. Somebody roll a d6 for me.
I got it.
Thank you.
Oh,
One.
What'd you roll, Fortune?
5.
I rolled 1.
I also rolled a 1.
Several people rolled. Okay.
Fortune's the one who called it, so.
True,
Yeah.
Fortune's the one that called it first.
He's the one who called it first. I think Echo rolled it first.
I rolled it at the same time as Echo did. She just said it before me.
Ah, okay.
No, I rolled it. I was gonna say it. Then Corjan said that he had it, so then I just didn't say what I
Oh
rolled.
god, so everybody did it. It's just
literally everybody rolled.
Basically.
So I'm gonna say you take 2 bludgeoning damage from the glass, and then 7 more from a very large helmet slamming into your face.
Oh my!
As you drop into the onto the floor. Oh, I am so sorry, Seps. Are you all right? As she completely ignores you and walks over to Echo. Are you all right? I didn't mean to shove you that hard.
And Zeps calls me being rude.
I'm so sorry. As you notice she's also mostly facing you with her left arm that she's trying to wrap the bandage around a bit more.
I cast there's a spell I know I have access to that can alter body certain ways.
You did beat
Minor illusion.
It's another type of illusion
it's
magic.
One of those. I just don't remember what it's called.
So I make her arm look normal so she can easily get that on.
As she's just tightening her armor at this point, tucking it in. Seps, are you all right?
I'll read for Zeps when it comes up.
Yep. I think he's still typing, or it might have frozen. Who
He
knows?
is. Yeah, so it says he's typing.
Oh, it's just a solid line of bars for me, that's all.
Zeps is being rude. We could have been doing anything in here.
She's a paladin. There's steps to dating them.
But I'm a bard.
That just means it's almost a normal DC.
Almost.
Insert the Jeopardy theme song here.
Na 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 na. Oh.
Okay, Zeps, while he's face down, says, "Young one, I know this may be inappropriate timing, but late last night I saw an odd figure by the harbor in a ship that was being cloaked in an illusion spell."
Oh, yeah, that's kind of important.
My accent keeps changing for Zeps, but it's alright.
It's okay. It's okay. As she just picks up the helmet that was still sitting on your head. That makes sense. Clicks it on, shifts the visor back into place, cracks her neck a little bit. Well, how
warn the others.
As she just unlocks the door and
we must warn the others, says Zeps.
Revan?
Yes.
I think I know what this party needs. Since they all seem insistent upon invading the kitchen at all times, they all have to have their own little custom aprons.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
Krua gets the one that says Chef's Little Helper. Zeps gets one that just, instead of kiss the chef, it says bow before the chef.
I will make you find a tailor to make these, but I like the thought process. Well, if we must warn the others, and she just unlocks the door, it leading you two out, assuming you follow. She waits for Zeps, however.
He is still typing.
Sticks her head out the door. Bruno, would you be a dear and fix my window, please?
Again.
It's the first time her window's been broken.
Has he been the one to fix all the windows?
Yes, actually.
Vegan at the table, carnivore in the field.
Bruno has been running around trying to fix all the various windows that randomly get broken by someone.
Bruno.
And now they know who did it.
And you guys see Bruno, or the three of you see Bruno, just slow walk out of the room. What? Clearly not even half awake as their shirt's not on yet. Very skinny.
Zeps busted into James' room when we were in there. The window needs fixed.
Well, that's rude. As they just reach down for Zeps.
Everyone just insulting Zeps.
At this point, I'm going to switch to everyone else. As you all leave your various rooms, you realize very quickly...
I was going to say mine should say vegan at the table, carnivore in the field. What? I read
his apron.
I know, but the words are not computing. That doesn't make sense in my head.
Yeah, they're not computing with me either, so I just left it.
It's okay.
Zeps always requests vegan.
Yeah. He does not like meat.
Oh, I know that, but like the words aren't like wanting to go together in my
vegan
head.
at the table, carnivore in the field.
Because he's an
okay.
Yes.
There we go.
I had to read it again.
So as the rest of you exit your rooms, you actually notice Akrua is already walking out of his, holding this steaming bowl of soup.
But I am, and I'm eating it.
Look over. Am I near Akrua? Look over and go, how you get food already?
Romantic person. Akrua shows another spoonful in his mouth.
And I will let you guys.
Oh, it tastes great.
Corjan, make a survival check, or just a basic int check for me. Your choice.
Basic int check.
Yeah, your choice.
I'm gonna go with the survival check, and that's a if the dice would roll correctly and not cock.
Good luck with that.
Okay, thank you, dice, for cooperating. Survival check, that would be a 24.
The food, while it looks good, is nothing you recognize. The meat, like the soup, the broth and whatnot, is obviously simple water, but the meat chunks you do not know at all.
That's some very questionable meat. I probably wouldn't eat that.
It's a correct food.
Crew's still eating it. He doesn't care.
Allow me to read what Zeps was typing really quick. Slowly lifting myself off the field. The floor, not table. I mean field. Fuck! I hate English. So as he slowly lifts himself off the floor, and you guys will have left the room at this point. Bruno just kind of shifts them, sliding down like a hockey puck out of the room. I'm so sorry, ladies. I'll enchant this window so that doesn't happen again. Bruno says, still very sleepy and walking over towards it. Echo.
What?
That was to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Where's my dog? She takes off running.
He's in my room!
Who said that?
Bruno.
Oh.
He's a great puppy! And you actually see said little puppy sticking its head out the door. Arf! At this point, it's more of a very small dog than a puppy.
Did it get hit with a time pulse?
What?
Did it get hit with a time?
No, it's been like a week and a half.
So it's just been growing.
Yeah. It's been like a week and a half.
I just wanted to make
Here
sure
for
that
a
the
month.
puppy wasn't suddenly accelerated.
That's fair, actually.
Suddenly, she goes to hug the dog, and it just poof. It's a
Full
big
grown
dog now.
She
Full-grown
would
poof.
cry. And as you guys all get together, as stated, you do quickly
still in the soup.
Still eating that soup. You do quickly realize, yes, Akura is eating a soup that nobody knows what it is in it.
Corjan, I need hangover food.
Time to consult the good old cookbook. What do we have in here that's good for hangovers?
Welcome back, Hayes.
No.
Suspicious. Suspicious.
Suspicious stew.
Ooh, yes.
No, we've been playing Breath again. No.
I can go make some suspicious stew really quick. Let's see. What do I want to
No.
No. I mean, this halfling chili looks great, but I need breakfast food.
I mean, let's see. If I put in a sapphire...
Not the money.
You've got like $3,000.
That's not enough.
No, I think we need like 15 or like 10 just to activate the last fairy.
Yeah. And then all the money that goes
to
to Guardian armor.
I just kind of gave up at this point. There's no taking food away from Akura.
That is valid.
That's fair. Well, for the rest of you, Akura's food smells amazing. And very different than normal.
Akura's been warned. He doesn't stop eating it, it's their own fault. He is, yes.
Actually, no, Akura hasn't been told anything about the soup.
Oh, Corjan didn't say anything about it.
No.
Corjan just gave up at this point.
Yeah, Corjan didn't tell Akura anything about the soup.
Nope.
Zep said that he'll take a salad and a cup of tea.
You know, if you guys had actually come up to Corjan and asked to be served drinks, he could have made you some really nice stuff and actually treated the cafeteria as a tavern briefly.
Okay, but
I
me and Jane
actually-
wanted to drink alone.
This cookbook has actual alcoholic beverage recipes.
It does?
It does.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Will you drink them as a player?
As a player, I don't drink.
I know.
I know.
But they actually have a recipe in here for dwarven mulled wine.
That sounds good, actually.
It's a very
I might
good
ask-
winter treat, actually.
I might ask for that.
I might have to look into that.
Or spice cider.
Anyway,
Yum.
Zep says, I'll take a salad and a
Am
cup
I
of
coming
tea."
over?
Yeah, I know, right?
I love this cookbook so much.
It
Just need to
does
get you
help.
into the same state as us.
I mean, yeah, that would help.
Here we
Sporadic.
go. Stuffed egg
Hey.
battered toast. It's French toast.
I was gonna say that's just French toast.
It's French
Yeah.
toast, but they had to come up with different names for it because there's no such thing as French in D&D.
That is actually not true.
Is there the French? Do we
There
have the
is
French?
there is a group in Faerun that is basically the French.
Okay, but it's not called the
Basically,
French.
but are they called French?
No, they're called the Red
French
Wizards.
owl.
Anyway,
Yeah, so they couldn't call it French toast.
it's egg battered toast
Oui,
that
oui.
have been stuffed with cream cheese.
Oh God! Did I hear cream cheese?
Yeah, it's French toast sandwiched together,
Hey,
and in between
monster.
the sandwiched French toast little because you make them like little pockets,
Uh-huh.
you stuff it with cream cheese,
That could be good too.
and it's basically fried little cream cheese pockets or mascarpone.
All right, go ahead and make that cooking roll.
Oh my God, I'm casually
Jane May
dying
just
at
kind
the
of
face.
pulls the same bottle out
Dirty 20.
that Echo remembers. Sir, I had elven wine. We were quite fine.
I still am mightily offended because I
That
like
is
running
fair.
a tavern.
That is quite fair.
Well, we were just drinking.
I
Two
have
girls.
my
drunk.
bartender, uniform still left from the tavern. It's like a little bow tie.
What he's saying
Fine.
is
When we get back from tonight's mission, we will drink again,
If we
and you can
survive.
play tavern.
Play
Hey, don't
tavern.
talk like that.
We survive. Friends all very strong.
Jane just tilts her head. More alcohol would be fun. Just kind of looks over her bottle. I think I have a few more bottles left.
Well, I would have had a really nice one from the tavern, but it turned out to be a secret lever.
Oh yeah.
Origin high or low?
Low.
Magic mushroom tea.
That's
like
enough as well. Akura is still eating his food.
You'd have to talk to one of the clerics of Pan for that one, Steps.
I actually have a recipe in here for mushroom tea.
Never mind.
And it's... I don't know.
But Zep said magic mushroom tea.
Yeah, well, this mushroom tea
It shouldn't be
includes
that
sake,
difficult to insert the different one.
so I don't know.
What could possibly go wrong from sticking a different mushroom in something?
I don't know if I'd be serving mushroom tea this early in the morning. This thing has sake in it.
Sounds good.
I could instead serve an Evermead, which sounds really nice.
Anyway, at this point, Alex walks in. So, everyone well rested, willing and able?
More or less.
Akura got soup.
And he just kind of tilts his head slightly. What? Okay.
See?
It was next to Akura when Akura woke up.
Mission.
Was next to you when you woke up?
Yes.
And you ate random
And
you ate random food. How did you not know it was not a trick to kill you?
Akura see food. Akura eat food.
Akura, I'm offended that you're eating somebody else's food.
But food tastes good.
I guess you don't want these as he puts a full plate of that egg battered toast on the counter.
Give me a moment.
I trot up and grab food.
That's a 19 sleight of hand to just wipe a couple of off the plate.
All right.
Actually, that's 19 plus my modifier. I didn't look at my
I was gonna
modifier.
say,
I got 19 on
Bill
that.
Bear is trying to stop you.
That's
23
a
sleight of hand to grab it first.
that's a 22.
If you want
Just to grab a
fight
couple
the rest
slices.
of the team for him.
Yeah.
No, just a couple off the top because you said it was a full plate, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just a couple off the top. Just something quick that he can just mine.
All right.
Well, Trenchy grabs some off the plate too, very quickly.
I just
haven't even
food.
had a chance to put the syrup out yet, but all right.
I don't like syrup.
It's okay.
That's fair.
It's good without syrup. Syrup good too, but this good just like as is.
I'm just gonna butter mine and put syrup like it's meant to be.
What?
Zep
Fried
says-
feces? What?
Who's Mr. Tender?
I assume coercion.
I assume.
Now wait a minute.
Wait.
I think this was a joke.
I think you're in the wrong establishment here.
I think this might have been a joke.
Or I think he's calling fried fetuses eggs.
No.
Never mind. No, he's saying it correctly then.
Yep.
I'm a
That's true.
bird.
He is a bird.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you
You're
really,
right.
I don't know. Here, scrambled eggs. Boom. It's quick and easy.
Well, Alex at this point just kind of shakes his head. Well, all right then. After, ooh, thank you. And he just kind of grabs some of the toast. If everyone's ready, I made sure the guards are on watch, more so than normal. The wizards that remain, and then are actually ours, we have gone back through the enchantments on the keep. It shouldn't have any issues while we're all gone, though. Janeway is staying here. And he just looks dead at her. Can't both be gone after all. Is there anything you guys needed to do before we go?
Oh, didn't I supposed to summon?
No.
Aren't we supposed to summon Mount Sam?
As
We
Death
can.
exclaims loudly, "Oh right!"
I mean, it is a 10-minute ritual.
It is a 10-minute ritual. Yes.
For what?
Summoning a mount.
Oh.
Can my 10-minute ritual be like preparing a special oatmeal or whatever thing the mount eats?
Yeah.
Yeah, incorporating cooking into everything.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. We just have to put it into a quick vote of whether Coercion summons a griffin or a pegasus.
Because he doesn't know yet.
I still don't know.
That's fair.
I've
All right.
picked
Actually,
mine.
give me a moment.
Echo, vote for coercion. Griffin or Pegasus?
Chat,
Mm,
I
people are
rolled a-
welcome to participate too.
Yep. Please do.
Coercion. Specify whether
Pegasus.
Pegasus is odds or evens.
I was putting it to a vote, but we can also flip dice.
I'm doing dice for my
Hippogriff.
vote.
Yeah, I
Okay,
did
so you
dice
got
for my
one
vote
vote
too.
for Hippogriff.
Should I not do a saber? Should I do something else?
So
I don't know.
Coercion.
Hmm.
Odds or evens, and then I'll tell you which one wins.
Even.
Yeah.
Evens.
No, which one's odd, which one's even? We're rolling dice is for our vote.
So it's Pegasus evens then.
Sure.
Okay.
So then my vote's a griffin.
So
And my vote's a Pegasus.
One Pegasus, one Hippogriff. Now we're destined to.
I would like to
bind and
clarify.
vote by
Chat
them.
has chimed in with a Griffisus.
What? I don't even know what a Griffisus is. I'm gonna.
It's a griffin pegasus.
It's half of a Pegasus and half of a Griffin.
I feel like that would be really bad.
Oh gosh!
I got Zeps on the plane too. Yes.
Wait, I like that better.
I'm pretty
by
sure
the way,
a
if
Griffisus.
somebody would mind reading what Zep said aloud.
Wait, I like that better.
No,
So,
before
yeah.
that.
He's telling us
Oh
about
right,
Barber
I
figure.
had almost forgotten about telling you guys about the strange figure I'd seen at the Hobbit last night. To which a crew was going to respond. What? Just straight up what?
Strange figure in the harbor. What, besides the mysterious boat that never moved?
Alex tilts his head slightly. Oh, goody, more bad news.
Have we had anything but...
Not like our party had enough to deal with.
Yes, we have had good news. Silver was back in town. Alex
What's
looks
that good
dead
news?
at Corsian saying that.
That's what, 1 out of 10? We're not on a good track record.
Okay, so do I stick with my original idea of saber or do a periton, which is basically a flying deer?
That
sounds
thing
fun,
is actually
actually.
super evil aligned last I read.
Is it?
Yeah. It's usually summoned by, like, evil aligned characters.
Zeps is still typing, but if somebody wouldn't mind reading that aloud as well.
Zeps. Yeah, about the boat cloaked in illusions. There are many undead aboard.
Great.
Also, he says name him Rudolph.
Well, the thing is that Rudolph will have razor sharp teeth. And is more... I don't know how to describe it. So it's got like the head of a deer, razor sharp teeth, and a body that's feathered like a bird, but closer to like, I don't know, a wyvern? And fur. I'm pretty sure you're right, it does have fur.
Brad knows he's got blood soaked fur.
Pekatons have a rather strange appearance. They tend to have the heads, necks, and forelegs of a deer, with antlers for adult males and sometimes not having bird legs. Yet having the plumage, hindquarters, and wings of birds. Also, their eyes look like a combination of a bird and deer eyes.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything about them being evil.
What? How do you spell it? P-E-R-Y? Oh, there.
I don't know.
P-E-R-Y-T-O-N.
I don't know, man. As you two start summoning mounts in the middle of the cafeteria, mind you.
From the Forgotten Realms wiki, demonic-looking fang-toothed stag. They were known.
Oh, they probably changed it then. That's probably one of the various changed beings.
Probably, because that says that they were known for tearing the beating hearts from their victim's chest.
Yeah, that sounds like a more of a 3.5 or second edition.
Although I have 5e selected in the Forgotten Realms.
I don't know, man. That's completely different descriptions. Okay.
Whatever fell magic created Perytons granted them a deceptively strong hide that was nearly impervious to anything but magical weapons.
That's very weird. Wait, I'm so... you know what? It's okay. If you summon one, it's completely different from the normal stock. There we go.
Okay.
Or the normal stock is good and some of them are evil? I don't...
Well,
I want that one.
They have foul tempers, but can
Go for
be
it.
intelligent, patient, and cunning.
What are you naming it?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Because it's legitimately your description otherwise. As you, however, all enjoy your nice meals.
Zeps said some. So while you guys summon your steeds, I'd like to mention that I was able to place a piece of paper on the mysterious figure.
Oh, so they're aware of us. Or at least you?
How close did Frank get last night? Did Frank talk to them?
Zeps is typing.
No, not quite aware. They thought I was just an owl. Because that amazing escape coverage totally made sure.
Definitely roll deception on that one.
Definitely rolled high performance.
Yes, clearly. Rolled like F. a natural 40 on a 6-sided die.
Hell yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. There's your DC for insight.
Oh no. I'll tell you, I got 17 on the die.
You believe it.
Yeah, that's an 18 total.
You half believe him.
I passed the deception.
You're pretty sure he thinks they thought he was an owl.
Yeah, I got
But you
an
get the
18
sneaky
as well.
suspicion he's leaving something out. You said 18 as well, Bellfire?
Yeah.
Okay. Tobian?
Gabe?
Still dead. Okay.
Goob. Goob.
He might have fallen asleep. Who knows?
Honestly, that is valid considering that like more than half of us haven't done anything for about an hour and a half.
I know.
So yeah, that's valid if you just fell asleep.
I told you.
But that also says
Yeah,
that
go
we're
for it.
being very boring.
Yes, we are.
Sadly.
Sadly.
Let's go fight the tower.
Why would we fight the tower, good sir?
Go
Alex.
into the tower and fight whatever the hell's going on and fix this shit.
Oh, that. You mean, yes, that is the plan. Is everybody ready to go? Everyone has their gear and everything?
Akua ready. Akua sets down his empty bowl of soup. And just like kind of wipes his mouth.
Everyone at the table suddenly sees that bowl slowly disintegrate into nothing.
Akua's gonna poke it. Try to figure out where. Yeah, she's just gonna poke straight through the air.
So is it just a pile of ash on my counter?
No, it's nothing.
Oh, okay.
In fact.
I was gonna get a dustpan.
It just deteriorated into the air. Zeps is typing.
Yes.
But yeah, just not a crew poking around and where it was. Like, where'd it go?
It is gone.
Sag. So Zeps. So we aren't going to investigate the figure. It's not fine. I've got ways to locate them afterward.
We probably will investigate it, but I think this time thing needs to be dealt with now. That figure can be investigated after we deal with the tower.
Janeway just perks up at that question and does I can have the patrols keep better watch on the ship. You said it was on the ship, yes?
I'm gonna name it Blaze.
Blaze the reindeer. Got it.
Alright, I'm
It's
rolling
not
this
a
d4
reindeer.
and we'll see what I
No,
get.
it's a Perryton. Perry. Yes.
And it's 4,
Sure.
so that's a reroll. Alright, looks like we're going with a
Zeps.
Pegasus.
A Pegasus. Zep says, no, the figure was on the rooftop. So I thought it was on the boat.
It was.
I think the figure was on the boat.
It was on the boat, yes. Sitting in a chair, watching over the...
Like, I thought it was sitting on the deck, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In a chair on the deck of the boat.
Yes. Of the smaller boat, not the barge. Which
Yeah,
is
the smaller boat. I have that written in my notes. I'm taking notes this session.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, one of us is actually writing notes.
I mean, Echo's notes in the channel are amazing.
I'm telling you, I already have a page and half of notes written for this session.
Yeah? All right. On that note, while you're talking, Echo, you feel one of Janeway's hands just hit your arm, and some kind of magic energy pulse into you. You're not quite sure what it was.
Why?
Because
What did you do?
what do you think I did?
Do I have to roll a canna?
Yep.
I just dropped my die. Now it's gonna be angry at me.
No.
Wah, 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 wah.
22. Does Trenton figure out what was just done to Echo?
Echo, I think your mic cut out.
Again. Cries.
Either that or she's
Back
retrieving
at-
the dice.
Oh, there
Yes,
we
we
go.
can hear you now.
I hit my Ethernet when I rolled out. It's hovering in
no.
between my remote and my headphone case. Can I roll that again?
Yes.
Okay.
If it's not technically on the ground.
It was still a 6 because it's angry. So it's a 6.
All right. You have no idea what this was.
I
How about Trenton? Did he figure it out?
What was your roll again?
22.
You can tell it was something. You saw a what looked to be a dragon scale in one of her hands, tucked very, very well. You almost missed it when she was doing it. Other than that, you noticed a very quick flash of light that almost missed, emanating
That
from
was
Echo
and-
that faded
that
away
was
rapidly.
the 22 is my Arcana check, not my Perception check.
I know.
Okay.
As far as
Just confirming.
determining what spell it was from the what you saw, you're fairly certain it was some kind of shielding spell.
Okay.
You believe. But it either seems like it didn't take, or something else was mixed in there to make it not work right now.
Oh. Delayed spell or a triggered spell.
You're not sure.
That's what he's thinking. He's somehow maybe given her a shield that's delayed or triggered on certain events.
I have to make sure one of my friends doesn't disappear on me now, don't I? And this one, and she looks at Echo, has taken far too many blows.
Yes, and I think a couple of them have been to the head, maybe?
One of them, actually, wow. There we go. Zep says,
Alright. So Zeb says, now, if you want to find the person, I'll hand you this. The word of activation for this glyph is Kiku. This should be able to locate the paper I attached to them. He hands her a piece of paper with a glyph with a spell locate object.
oh, perfect. Thank you.
I hope I pronounced that word right. The
I
activation word.
believe so.
Kiku, Kaiku,
think it's Kaiku.
I think it
Kuku.
might be Kaiku.
Kuku.
Or Keku. I don't know. Unless there's anything else.
Yeah, it's
It's
Kiku.
Kiku. I pronounced her right.
Okay. So
I did it right.
if there is nothing
Feeling
else you guys need, I'm going to go ahead and switch maps. And by that, I'm switching maps.
And by that, I can switch it. It's Japanese for listen.
So we're going downstairs, I assume,
Yep.
first.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going
Okay.
to the trial room.
I think it was this
Yep.
one. And as the map loads, as my map program crashes for a second, there we
I was gonna say, as
go.
it crashes.
As the mapping program loads, why are there werewolves down? Oh yeah,
Yeah, because you just switched over without.
Forgot about them.
Yeah. What did we? Did those werewolves go?
They slipped away.
I don't remember.
As you
Oh,
guys,
They went somewhere over
I'm
the
just
rainbow.
going to go ahead and put you guys in this area, and you guys can tell me if you think you're at which room it was. You get through the caves with no issues whatsoever.
I know which room it was, but I want to roll for intelligence, see if Kurua remembers.
Which room were we trying to remember?
Well, I also need to go find Bellfire. Bellfire's right there. Where's Bell?
Alex.
Yeah, like I said, Bell.
Anyway, so Kurua got a 15. Does he remember which room it is? Yeah. I mean, me as player, I know which room it is.
You remember which room you were told it was. So someone else is saying anything, I will assume you to take the lead.
Sure. If no one else wants it,
that
I'll
was
take
not
it.
everyone. Akira, we have just discovered Echo's piece is apparently above yours in the list.
Nice.
As you guys all move through and go into the room, you realize quickly that the image you encountered the first time is nowhere to be seen. However, as you enter this
Is the
room,
magical darkness still in the room?
magical darkness is not in this room. As the door shuts itself behind you, however, and you hear a distinct of some kind of heavy bar shifting and into place.
So they know we're here, or someone knows we're here, or something.
At which point, Alex tilts his head slightly. I was afraid that might be the case. Well,
what friend talking about?
he just kind of looks at the door, looks at the room. Probably no issues. As he just pulls a rope out. Who would like to keep hold of this? It's a very
That's
large...
a nat 20 on insight for no issues.
It's a very large circle woven rope, like legitimately it is in a perfect circle. It is a circle.
Also, Zeps is perching on a girl's shoulder.
I saw that.
Which shoulder? The left or right?
This will take you all back to that circle of sigils up in the keep, the one that is in the stairs downwards. I was working on it last night to make sure it will be enough. If one of you wouldn't mind keeping hold of this.
Benson will take it.
All right. And he passes it to you. And it's a decent, about 12-foot length of rope, but even if it is woven into a circle, you're actually not quite sure how that was done, because it's not tied, it's legitimately woven into a circle.
Okay.
Do I have anything with my nat 20 insight for no issues?
Oh, you were absolutely certain he was lying. Is anyone else wanting to ask him anything or no?
What happened?
Okay,
they're
door locked.
I'm like, yeah, door locking.
You're not teleporting up with us. We're going without
Pardon?
music.
No, I'm coming down. We're all going into the keep together.
Okay.
What issues?
Well, strictly speaking, I'm surprised nothing happened when I came with you all in the first place coming down, but I believe it was mostly because I have not... Well... I personally never ran the trials, therefore I didn't count against it. However, you have all run these trials once before, and
you ran them with us.
Yes.
Mostly.
Somewhat.
Part of me feels like I should roll insight again on this.
I was more of an observer.
You just help on this room, actually, I believe.
That one's worse.
I only gave you a very slight nudge.
That's a 14 on insight.
He all of you suddenly hear him say a word in I believe it was an aberration. You don't quite understand what it was for anyone who doesn't speak it, of course. But the effect quickly became apparent. Yes, Zeps would understand.
Yeah, so would Akroa.
Oh, and Akroa. Well, the both of you understand quickly why on earth he's saying something about armor, as you see exactly that spring into being all around him and encase him in a very heavy-looking suit. So, as it echoes out of the helmet he now wears, if we're all ready...
Yes, I am.
More or less.
The rest of you heard this honestly nasty-sounding word just echo through your minds. Kind of felt a little slimy.
It felt very
You're not sure
slimy.
how a word felt slimy, but there you are.
Wouldn't it feel extra slimy if you speak Celestial or something like that?
Not really. The two aren't
No,
directly.
that would be more of a demonic or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
was it still an aberration?
Oh, it was aberration. Yes.
Yeah. So what did he say?
Tank wizard.
Oh, he said armor.
Oh yeah.
It was legitimately just.
Oh, I thought he was doing something else.
No, just that.
Okay.
Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Akroa ready.
I'm honestly waiting for at least some kind of mention from everyone. Like, hopefully, everyone. Tobian, are you alive yet? Yay!
Yay, he's alive.
Thank you.
The first time I've spoken in
Like an hour.
hours.
You could have been saying stuff during the role plays.
Yes.
Most of us weren't saying much during the role plays because
A lot of people were
it
quiet.
wasn't applying to us.
I see a
Zep
Zep.
says, I believe I'm prepared.
Lion says yes. Echo. Bellfire.
I'm fine.
Corsian. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Bellfire. As you're
You just go in, Bellfire's not ready.
as he's naming you, you all feel ghostly hands just plip down onto your shoulders as you all give the okay. Bellfire.
Smith.
He's dead again.
Dang it, we traded. We traded dead players, guys.
R.I.P.
All right, in that case, I will assume he is indeed prepared.
No, I like the headcanon of he's just not prepared, we all go in anyway.
Did he just run in? Yeah. Oh,
So
okay.
if I go back to being dead, does he come back?
That's a good question. But let's not test that theory.
Yes, let's not test that theory.
Otherwise, we might just have 2 dead players.
Yes. Let's just have as many as we
I'm gonna
can.
go pee while we wait for him to
Well,
respond.
I'm going to go ahead and shift maps anyway.
I believe
I
I'm
also
prepared.
can't
Let
stay
that
on very
PTSD
much longer.
roll in. Okay, it zips.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late.
It is already almost, or it's already 9.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
I know. All right. Make sure you guys are set to heroes, not villains.
Nah, I
So-
want to be a villain.
So while
Okay.
we might be able to get into the tower and start things, I don't think we can.
Oh, we're probably. This is going to be a multiple session thing, I believe.
I was gonna say I don't think we're gonna complete combat, start, complete, and win combat tonight.
Probably not if there is any combat.
I mean, we did the other last week.
Okay,
Yeah,
there's
that was like
2.
4-hour-long session, and we didn't spend 2.5 hours of non-combat prior.
No, we did. We spent 2 hours of non-combat prior.
Did we?
We started at 2 hours into the session.
Okay.
It made us all want to cry.
Bell
That's
and
why it was so long. Okay.
there you go. 8 people. Ta-da! Done. Set! Everyone's here!
Woo!
Okay.
You should be up with your crew. You are correct. I was mostly just clicking people in.
And I'm basically hovering over somebody. Unless we don't have 10-foot plus ceilings.
The area you are in, I will wait to describe until at least Jax is back, and hopefully everyone else can hear me.
I'm just mentioning that I am very much doing my typical.
Oh, for the record,
hover.
This is a solid wall. I simply could not figure out how to make it look good. Therefore, it has a gap inside of it.
Okay.
So if they look like they're in the wall, they're actually on top of it.
On top of the wall. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I just couldn't make it look solid because my attempt.
So it's a wall that does not go to the ceiling or whatever.
Yes, my attempt over here just wasn't working, and I couldn't get it to fill in the smaller areas, and I just gave up.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Stop attaching and let me scroll. And yes, I could have done these at least ahead of time. Didn't matter. Not important. Jax, are you back? I will take that as a no.
Have we gotten Seth back?
Bellfire!
Sounds like a no.
I saw Tobian for a second. We'll have an... I saw his mic trigger for a heartbeat.
Oh.
Wait, they're still not back?
Bellfire?
We've gotten Tobian, but Bellfire has not come alive.
His mic keeps triggering for a heartbeat.
I wonder if he fell asleep.
It is entirely possible he fell asleep. I think I was hearing breathing.
1 second.
All right.
Well, could also be my breathing that you're hearing.
It could be. I was hearing somebody's breathing. That's the extent of my knowledge. But yes, it is indeed 9 o'clock. We are going to do a little bit here, and hopefully everyone will be here. If not, we'll make it work. But no, I imagine next session will be the entirety of this place.
Okay.
That we don't get through tonight. Hopefully a good deal tonight. Though I suppose it is a decently large map, so meh.
Well, the phone's still ringing.
I'm gonna say he fell asleep.
Also, I keep noting that Zeps is spelling Akura wrong, but it's alright.
Akura.
Akura. It's Akura. The R comes before the U. Akura.
It also could be autocorrect, depending.
Also very possible.
Yeah.
It could
I
be
think
because
or it's on purpose.
Now
how do I kick
Kate?
How do I kick
Alright.
Kate's from a ball?
So since this is probably everyone we're going to have for tonight, which is okay, as you guys all feel the teleport spell take hold, you feel stretched, then you feel very clumped together, and you just fade away into somewhere. You can't quite tell where. You feel all sorts of weird eddies, almost like you're flying through a river, for those of you who have been flying before. For the rest of you, you're going... This feels very strange. You land on the ground, some of you keeping your footing, most of you kind of wiggling around a little bit. And you see a very large keep stretch out around ahead of you, just a few feet in front. You see some guards up on the walls with bows clearly aimed in your general direction, but not pulled. Looking out at you, a couple of other people that there's a good one. They're called strangers, yes. There we go. Perfect. A couple of people stand in front of the gates with hands outstretched in a clear halt. All aiming directly at your group. And those of you in the back, which is technically Trenton, Corsian, and Bellfire, feel more than see Alex attempting to essentially hide behind all of you.
Crow is gonna pull out a
Question.
shield.
So you said the people that landed kind of had some trouble steadying their feet. Did it have any effect on me since I'm hovering?
You did actually bob really badly.
Okay. So I bobbed around and went, well, that's a more violent transfer than I'm used to.
As you guys
That
all
was
look
rough.
around, you see some trees. The area you're in looks odd, however. The ground is almost uniformly flat. Something you've never seen before. There's at least a little bit of rise, right? Or fall. You can't see too far in any particular direction except towards the keep, because it just kind of fades into mist. This very, very thick.
Hellfire is here. He just didn't hear us.
Oh.
Naughty.
Sorry, I was in the restroom.
Oh, okay. That's fine. But anyway, you cannot see too terribly far in any direction except towards the keep, as this massive, almost wall of mist encircles the area.
Okay.
That you can't see any grass in, though there are trees and whatnot down off to your mostly left. Now, saying that, as you are all passing through wherever you went through in the teleport, I need all of you to roll con saves.
Oh God.
Twice. No, not with
And
advantage or disadvantage.
Reminder that we also have advantage.
Yes, you
and
do
plus
have
3.
advantage. And a plus 3. I heard somebody say
So,
So con save number 1 is
29.
con save number 1's 22.
22, 25. Did somebody
I
say
have
12?
I have
don't
two
need advantage on
29s.
that other one because the other one's a nat 20.
Nice.
First one's
Seven.
18.
Is that
With
with
the-
your advantage?
Yes.
Okay.
I
The
have
second
two
one I
nat
rolled
20s.
18.
Okay.
First one was a 10.
Oh, is that counting your advantage and plus 3?
Oh, not plus 3. That would be 13 with the
Okay.
plus 3. Second one, I
19,
rolled a
20,
natural
21,
20
22,
and a
23,
natural
24.
1.
Oh, nice. At least the 20 is the one that counted.
18 and 24.
Gotcha. Okay. Corsian, what were your two?
17 and 23.
17 and 23. All right.
Nope,
All right.
you wanna be a
Oh,
brat.
very
So you got
good.
cuddle.
Oh,
with
very
22
good.
and then just casually 30.
Except for that 13.
Okay. Nope. You want to be a brat. You're getting cuddled. I wanna hear
just
it.
Casually Akua getting a 30 on a save.
The natural 20
You chew
would
on
be
practice for
a
attention,
total
so
of
now you're getting attention.
24.
Okay.
Nope.
Bellfire, I
Don't
need
hiss
you
at
to
me.
roll percentiles for me. Tobian, how are
Oh,
your
God.
saves?
What are the saves for? Like,
It's
what?
your
what
it's
are-
your Constitution saving throw. You have advantage, so you roll 4 times, take the better of, well, 2 each basically. So the first 2 rolls you take the better, and then the other 2, and then you add 3 additional from Corsian.
Corsian.
Who's granting advantage? Is that Zeps?
Zeps. 30 feet of Zeps for advantage, 50 feet of Corsian for plus 3.
Right.
So
Up.
that's it.
And we're definitely in that
It's an
range
18
right
and
now.
a 22.
18,
Yeah,
22.
we're in
enough.
range. Everyone's in range of both.
All right, and then I'm
Oh,
still
yeah.
waiting on Zeps. How was that percentile roll? Bellfire?
That was a 1 and a 7.
So 17? Oh, or
Yeah.
70.
It was a 1, 0, and a 7.
Oh, okay, so 17.
Yeah.
I want you to know I rolled a 1 twice. So thanks for the advantage.
Oh gosh, good job, Zeps. Zeps, how are your con saves?
What?
We're gonna go ahead and roll for.
I am very confused what Zepsis has in chat right now.
Nicknames for
I
everyone
think
on the
that's his
party
nicknames.
in Japanese.
Bellfire, did you say you rolled a 17?
Yes.
Oh God. What happened?
Oh, that's good. I rolled low on that die.
Oh no.
Bellfire. This one is ridiculously evident to everyone. You are 14 years younger than you were.
I mean, how old was he when?
I started out at 155. Currently 149 minus 14. So 100.
135.
He's rapidly losing years.
Oof.
Why? Oh, do I get the Angie kitty?
She is very angry.
I get an Angie kitty. Oh, it's so Angie. Why are you so cranky?
She was chewing on plastic, and so I picked her up.
Oh, wait, we don't have ones from Zeps yet. So Zeps' first one is a dirty 20.
Yes.
Zeps, you need another one.
Yes. Sadly, it is 2.
I just hear her like.
Oh,
"Arr."
Her all day, every day.
Oh, are you better now? You were till I said something. Okay. 20.
Nat 20.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. All right.
Well, no, not necessarily a nat 20. His is probably a dirty 20 plus 3. The first one was his.
That's true. That's true.
No, Nat.
Nat 20.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's your con bonus?
Me now?
So it's 17 plus 6.
Do you like your mother
and
now?
20 plus 3, because you've got a plus 3 in addition to your cons.
Did you count
in addition to your con save.
I'll put you in the
Yes.
with an Ori.
If you're proficient
Somebody's
in...
giving.
Well, yes. Anyway.
No, I'm saying if he's got it, if his
23 and 26.
Yeah, you just
if his constitution
modifier.
his con modifier is 3, plus everybody gets a plus 3.
Yes.
And the 17 and 20 was the dice rolls.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So he's got a 23 and a 26. And I have 2 29s, which was
good enough.
Oh god, if Akruel got hit by that pulse that Belferde got the same amount of time taken off. Oh no,
I would roll separately for per person.
I know, but if it was the same hit.
Yeah, it would have babied you, I think.
Yeah. Literally a 12-year-old Akruel.
What's standing there?
Wait, how old is Akira?
He's 26.
Oh, Echo's 19.
Literally 5-year-old Echo.
Actually, no. The only one who has been affected is Bellfire massively.
No, wait, she's 18.
And
nobody else.
No, one person did get affected slightly, I thought.
Oh,
just
Tobian. Tobian.
Oh no, Tobian got hit by a few days, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been affected yet.
No,
nobody has.
Zeps, the only 2 that have been affected have been Bellfire and Tobian.
And both of them have been good affected, mostly.
Yeah, they got younger. And unlike 2 members of our party, they aren't children. Barely out of, children compared to some of us.
You guys, I swear. Maybe I should have.
Looks at Akruel and Echo.
All right. Anyway,
I almost made Akruel older, but I was nah.
As you all land on the ground, the various guards are clearly watching you. I want to know very quickly: does anyone speak Elvish?
I know Echo does.
Let me check. I think Trenton does.
Krua knows one word.
Trenton knows common, undercommon, fairy / fey. So unless Elven is considered fey.
Oh, he just translated all the words.
Makes sense.
I'm little one. Okay.
I know that because he's little one. Anyway.
I know. Even though he's smaller.
Yeah. So does anybody speak Elvish?
I know Echo does.
I can
because
translate
Echo
Well, she can't speak Elvish.
Yes, I can.
Zeb,
Yes, I can.
I'm not
Oh,
sure
okay.
you're older than Trenton.
I would say no.
Anyways, Akroa knows the one word, and I think, Michael, you should know the one word Akroa knows.
I do. Tobian, Bellfire, are
And
either
it's
of
his
you?
name. Actually, wait,
What?
no, Akroa doesn't know what it means, but he'll recognize
Trenton
it.
isn't sure, but he recently figured out that he's at least 70.
The only person that actually knows how old Trenton is me.
He doesn't remember his
Is God.
exact age.
Yes. Or if he had been bored enough to think to ask the people he's been working for, they might know indeed how old he is.
Oh, you mean the circus?
Yeah.
Or Jane? Yeah, I'm sure the circus knows how old I am.
Knows exactly how old you are.
Because I'm sure I knew how old I was when I showed up at the circus. It's just things have happened since then. He's lost track of time.
One too many bonks on the head.
No.
One too many
He's had-
times shot out of the cannon.
No, he didn't do that.
Wrong
He's
kind of
just had a
circus.
few
right.
wild adventures and maybe a couple of drinking parties. And
Without hearing from Tobian and Bellfire, if you guys
What do you want from me?
Elvish? No, from Bellfire. No. Okay, so the only
Halfling
one who
and
can
human.
speak this technically is Echo.
Hi.
That's fun. Echo. Everyone else just gives
Hold on.
Elvish.
Let me double check this.
It's okay. It's okay.
Halfling.
Halfling. You got halfling.
Speak that.
That's good. That's good language to have, actually. Echo. I'm afraid you're going to have to translate for this party. One of the two guards in front of the large gates in the walls, which go about 15 feet high, all of your guesses, starts yelling out in Elvish, "Halt! I don't know who you are or what you're doing on this battlefield, but you should probably not be here."
I put my hand up for everybody to stop. They're like, they say we're not supposed to be here. Look at Alex.
Alex is hiding behind.
Everybody looks at Alex. Alex
do you guys all clearly turn to look at Alex?
I look down at him because I'm probably somewhat over him.
That's a problem.
Yeah, I figured it is.
Check.
Looking at the map, he's directly behind me, so I
check
can just turn
failed.
around.
He's behind everyone. I'm pretty sure.
I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
He's in heavy armor. It doesn't matter what else I roll.
Oh no.
So you all turn to look at this very large armored figure behind you who's trying to hide behind the halfling really badly. Bellfire, save me as he picks you up into the air. They can't see me now. For the record, Bellfire, you can tell he's lifting you with no problems.
Why are
Well,
there
I only weigh
elven
34 pounds,
folk
so
guarding the castle?
Oh,
if he was having problems, I'd be worried.
I mean, that's fair.
What you're saying is I could chuck you pretty much.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, everyone could chuck him. Just about.
I don't think Echo can.
What's your strength mod? Or your strength total?
15.
You might be able to chuck him. Not far, but. And he just thinks about a second.
I have more strength than Echo.
And he just
That's
says he
amazing.
just sets Bellfire back on the ground. I'm sorry. Can I help everyone? As now the guards up on the wall are clearly all staring at him.
You brought us here. They say we're not allowed to be here.
Well, of course. That's if they're caught in a time bubble, then they still have an army around them, even if we can't see it. So,
Army?
well,
What should we
yes,
do?
the keep was under attack under siege by an army when they did whatever this was. And if you guys would like to roll insight on anything I am saying for the next 3 minutes, by all means, tell me.
That's an 18.
Okay. So, truthfully, I assumed you all had a plan to talk our way into the keep. Yes.
Oh,
didn't know
so
there were gonna be
No,
I was
because
gonna walk
you
in.
didn't tell us any of this.
I did.
my understanding was we were
I just
teleporting
assumed you all
into
knew.
the keep Not to the area outside of the keep.
Oh, this was as far as I could reach.
Alex,
And he's telling
how
the
would
truth.
me or Trenton know?
I just assumed that if
How
you
would
knew,
any of friends know?
you knew that there was a time bubble and that they had sealed themselves.
Did we?
Yeah, the wizard.
No,
the
we
necromancer.
knew there was a time
Oh,
event.
right.
We don't know when the time bubble happened and what was inside because nobody has been willing to tell us. And we've been asking, including
Hey.
asking you.
You remember those insight rolls?
By the way, I rolled a 19 on the dice for my insight
I heard an 18
just now.
Krua.
I got like a 10.
So that's a 22 total.
Okay.
Because I'm not that great at insight, but you know.
I'm not great at insight either. I only have a +1 in mine. Zep's also got an 18.
We don't talk about what I just rolled.
Oh no. Oh no.
Guys, did you manage to beat a 14?
No.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Or meet a 14?
No.
For
No?
what save?
I got 10.
Oh,
It's just
7.
insight. It's just insight.
No, sorry, I got a 9.
17.
Okay.
22.
Echo, you believe every word he's saying.
well, you have everyone else who was like,
Everyone else realizes he's clearly hiding something. Look, either way, I suppose if you didn't know they're here, but we're in the middle of a battlefield, you might be able to talk them into giving us shelter, perhaps? At this point, he is not lying. He's referring to very old hospitality rules.
I could distract him. It's called being a bard. And falling in performance.
Or seeing if they would like a bard's services to help out with morale. Yes, that would be a good idea.
Call for parlay.
knowing that he
Roll for
was
parlay.
like,
Do you just yell parlay?
Parlay!
Yes.
I'll allow it. What the one who wasn't talking just thuds their head into their hands. Damn them for inventing parlay!
Anyways, I'll do in falling
I think Zeps
performance.
is yelling up to a guard or something because he says, "Hello there, good sir."
But are you yelling this in Elvish?
I don't speak Elvish.
Yes, it's Elvish.
Ask them if
Zep
they
speaks
speak
Elvish? Did you say Zep?
No,
did Zep
the
say
only
he
one who
spelled-
speaks
To
Elvish
my knowledge,
is
Zep
Echo.
speaks Aberration, Common, and I thought there was one more, but I'm pretty sure it was not Elvish.
Why don't we just ask them if they speak common?
Celestial, thank you. I know you had one more in there. Echo?
Sylvan.
And Sylvan. I knew he had 2 more, and I was like,
Okay. So many languages. So Echo, what is
Yeah.
your plan? You're the one talking to him right now.
I ask if they speak common.
They just tilt their heads at you. Why? Why would we speak in such a language?
Was that in Elvish?
Yes.
They don't speak common. We are a party. We just need shelter. And we can aid.
I start shouting parlay in all of the languages that I know.
Wait. I need to know for important reasons. What languages do you know?
Common, halfling, thieves' cant, and draconic.
So, do you just like can't the parlay out there? Okay. The first time you start yelling, they just tilt their heads looking at you, which was in common, and you see a couple of their shoulders slump slightly up on the wall.
This
and you
is
get
after we've already had
feeling
Calvin
they
say.
do speak common. They just don't want to.
Oh, they're just being assholes.
Yeah.
Hey!
yeah, because they did say, "Why would we speak such a language?" So I'm like, they speak
Congratulations,
common,
you guys
don't
found
they?
elves. You guys found not so friendly elves.
Great, cool. I'm half elf.
I know, right? Why don't
look
you
like an
speak
elf.
Elvish?
My parents deemed to teach me Dwarven because merchants.
Anyway, as you continue through the language, they just kind of tilt their heads, looking at you, really confused. Bellfire, you could cast tongues, yes. That would help.
Ironically, if he
Did you
progresses
ignore
in
everything
monk
I was
further,
saying?
Huh? No.
Okay.
This is. I assumed this was happening at the same time. As you speak in Draconic, Bellfire, you see a couple of them suddenly tense up massively, and a couple of the bows that were previously undrawn are very much drawn and aimed directly at you. As the two on the ground who Echo was speaking to are listening to what Echo was saying, they're like, "Yeah, we would be willing to accept." And then they hear that the draconic speech come across the battlefield, and they just stop, and their hands drop onto their weapons.
Ignore him. He's being stupid.
Just because we speak a language does not mean that we are friendly or from that. Just means that we've had to learn to speak it so that we could deal with other people that don't know any other language we know.
Are you speaking in common still?
Yes.
Roll persuasion, but with disadvantage.
I said, ignore him. He's being stupid.
I know. One of them did chuckle at that one, by the way. I believe Zeps has cast tongues for whatever he's about to be saying.
Keep up and hide behind a crow.
Okay.
Oh, I fucked up. Hide.
like, I'm sure some of what they're saying.
30-20.
Okay.
I'm sure some of what they're saying would kind of come across to Corsian, but it's kind of like the fact that a lot of us know a smidgen of Spanish because we hear it pretty often,
right?
But we are
Yeah.
by no means fluent in it.
Well, like I figured out, dos libras means 2 pounds yesterday.
Dos does mean 2.
Well, I mean, I knew that one. I assume at this point libras means pounds. Anyway, not important. But yes, you're getting little bits, and they just tilt their heads as the two people are trying to talk them down. The guards up on the wall are exchanging looks, and you see them slowly relaxing those bows strings, but not unaiming. You speak the language of our enemies, however.
He does.
Only he?
As far as I know, I don't know whatever language my party speaks.
Interesting. And you are, and they just kind of look at you. Do you have an instrument out on you at all times, or?
Probably.
So cast tongues in Elven. Hello, I'm sorry I didn't understand you. You had a distaste for common. But now that I understand that, I don't mind it. Don't mind him. He is a tad out of the loop.
He had a great idea, though. If only it wasn't draconic. But between the three of you, he just kind of waves his arm to try and get them to relax. I'll tell you what. If two of you would be willing to come inside and speak to the master, you are more and see if they would be willing to provide room and board for a little bit in exchange for your services as a minstrel group, he says, all still in Elvish, mind you. So exactly,
like, I'm chilling because I ain't getting any of this.
Two of you clearly understand it. As stated, Corsian, you're getting a little bit here and there.
I'm guessing I maybe
recognize minstrels for sure.
I probably recognize minstrels because I may not know Elvish, but I've probably heard that used at the circus a fair bit.
I pull out my fiddle. My time has come.
Zeps is saying, I'd be more than willing to go in as an ambassador of the group. Oh God, Echo and Zeps are our ambassadors.
Yes!
Oh, I'm scared.
We're the only two that can talk to them.
Well, no, everyone here can speak common, and they do speak it. They just don't like it.
They don't like to.
So
I'm guessing they don't like Faye any better.
Is Zeps the only one who has outright spoken or volunteered, however?
I mean, I figured I was going to go in because I can speak it without casting.
That's fair. His spell lasts for like an hour, I think.
I know, but
And no, for the record, nobody twitched when you were casting your spell because hilariously, the tongue spell is a very easy one to pick out. It is always you building a clay something on your hand, usually a ziggurat, and it glowing red and exploding. Just so you know. Spell components 101. Yeah, it's actually a really simple spell to pick out. Anyway, is anyone stopping those two from going in alone? That's the question.
Trenton is not
player-wise, I want to. Character-wise, Ekro wouldn't.
All right.
Trenton is not a negotiator type.
Dang, blast it! Stop doing that.
Charisma is not
his
his
map for this.
strongest stat. It's actually one of his 2 weakest stats.
As you
just going to try to drag me along.
You're bringing a crew along just in case. For the rest of you who are standing outside, the rest of the guards, since only one of them went inside with the other three, leading them through.
Actually, are they going to allow Zeps to drag a crew? They said only 2.
They gave him you guys funny looks, but thinking about it, they just kind of shrugged their shoulders, still mostly looking at Bellfire.
By the way, I'm going to switch to Faye and ask them if this is a less offensive alternate tongue.
They twitch slightly and look at you oddly, but one does reply back at least. No, it's... I'm sorry, those silly humans think their language is going to become the main language of the world, and we just don't deign to help them out with this.
Yes, I do understand the young race's audacity can be offensive.
Now, well, you may approach the walls while your party is inside. We don't estimate too much trouble with them inside alone, after all. Back in Elvish.
And Zeps is telling them in Elvish, every investor needs a bodyguard.
They just kind of shrugged their shoulders in the first place.
I hope you have no qualms about this.
It's fine. You see a very large contingent of about 30 assorted guards and mostly scale mail escort you into a building further in. You go straight past a bell tower where you can clearly see a really beautiful bell hanging, by the way. It's about 6.5 feet tall, maybe 10 foot around. You believe it's cast in bronze, has very, very small clapper overall hanging from it. And you can see, even from the ground, which is about 40 feet below where it's hanging, it's got all sorts of runes inlaid all over it, both artistically and clearly meant for enchantment for those of you who are casters. As you approach the keep, those of you outside, by all means, if you would like to ask the guard something, just let me know either in chat or here.
I'm probably more likely to turn to Alex and try to get to him, tell me more about what he knows about what's caused this issue, since he clearly knows more than what he has been willing to tell us in the past.
I'll get to that in one moment then. The 3 of you are led through into a room. This one is a little bit open. You can clearly tell. I will actually show you the room on the map, even though I'm not moving figures right now. You can clearly tell this one is... Where'd it go? Actually, we're just going to put you right here in this blacksmithy. I must have forgotten to do a main area. Oh, well. Fine.
Zeps, before we go any further, has Zeps told Akrua that he speaks aberration?
That's a good question.
No.
Okay. So while you guys are standing in this, well, it's a blacksmithy, you can see and are asked to wait just a moment. Are you guys doing anything while you do that, or?
I want to look around and see what's all on the table.
You see a fairly large amount of gear. Nobody really stops you from looking around the area. Most of it is very, very well made. You can tell all of the various suits of armor that are made of metal are very lightweight compared to what they would normally be. And they're made of this beautiful silvery white or armor metal, sorry, not unlike Zep's Cannabo, in fact. You can see the most of the gear or the weaponry is lighter one-handed affairs or ranged weapons, and a couple of people are working in the corner on some kind of you believe it's a chain vest, but all in all, very fine make. Mostly lighter armors, however. As stated, scale, some chainmail, a few suits of what look to be metal reinforced inlays or studded leather on top, perhaps. And it takes about 5 minutes while you guys are waiting. No? You? Okay. As you guys wait, you finally hear people approach, and a group of very heavily armored guards, all in plate mail, very large kite or tower shields, and swords clearly open and held in hand at the ready, shift in and ask you to step further back into the room.
In what language?
Elvish.
Akura is going to pull a sword on them defensively, standing in front of the other two.
Akira, it's fine. They're just asking us to step back.
Crow's going to lower his weapon and back up.
They didn't twitch, mind you. Is Echo the only one backing up?
No, I said Akura does.
Oh, okay, you do too.
After he's informed.
Is anyone pulling Zeps back? I'm joking.
Zeps does say that he raises his arms and we mean you no harm.
I see that.
Yeah, I'm currently filling out session notes right now.
That's all right. I'm assuming Zeps will back up. While they shift around, you can clearly tell they are mostly blocking you from anywhere near the next person to walk in, which is a pair of people. One is very clearly an elf, but this is an elf not quite like any of you have ever seen before. You're looking at about 7.5 feet tall, very slender, this almost gold-colored skin. And you see a slight glow coming off of them. Echo would happen to recall that this is an elf that has only recently left the Feywild.
Hello.
And might start realizing just how far back in time this was. Because you would happen to
who's the other person?
The other person actually confuses you. Because they are a very, very normal-looking human. Clearly beautiful female lady. At best guess, she's in her late 20s. Wearing the very regal clothing. The two are arm in arm standing behind the tower guards. And if somebody would read out what Zep says for me.
Give me one. I'm still filling out session notes unless someone else wants to read it.
It's a traveling cleric as I approach.
And he raises his arms.
I'm just a traveling cleric as I approach closer. We just want to talk about some shelter from the enemies out there. He puts his arms down. As they say, the enemies of my enemies are my friends after all.
The guards do not twitch as you approach, since you have no weapons out. And those of you who, at least Akura is actually somewhat impressed with how little motion is coming from these guards.
Nah, I think Akura would see him more like kind of like the gladiators back.
Yes.
From where he's from. So like
most of them actually very much remind you of some of the older gladiators. You, however, do get that same feeling from the male of the pair.
This was persuasion, by the way.
I figured. The male speaks up in common, no less. Well, since you have been so very kind as to speak in our language, we will do the same and speak in yours. And he just seems a little saddened by this.
You don't have to. Only
no, it's quite all right.
doesn't talk.
I know the kitty cat does not quite understand otherwise. And he tilts his head looking at you. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from? I've never seen someone quite like you. Looking at Akura, yes.
Oh god, what's the name of the country he's from?
Hey, stop dying.
No, never.
Oh, give me a moment. Where is Akura from? Startup notes. There we go. I found the startup notes.
You should have written it down.
I should have. Right, it's a country I can still never pronounce.
Ah, yes. We'll say you said it, however.
Yes, I say the country I'm from, which is DM.
Tilts his head.
I believe it is Dalesburia.
Something like that. Did you send it?
To the chat.
Oh wait, is it in the chat?
Do you want me to send it to the chat? It's in the startup notes. The country.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll assume it's Hellsburia or something like that.
No, I know exactly where he's from, but I just can't pronounce it.
It's okay.
I also don't know the name of the city. I just know the country.
It's all good. He just tilts his head slightly. Nope, I've never heard of that one. Ah, very far away then. And looking more towards Echo and Zeps. Let's see. You're from the Feywild, I believe, Sir Cleric. And then he just starts looking at Echo. Though you all notice his eyes glow slightly blue the longer he looks. Huh, I don't recognize you either. Fascinating. Do you know where you're from?
I guess it's a good
Clearly.
thing Corsian didn't go in on negotiations.
I was abandoned when I was little. I've lived in the Feywild since.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I do hope everyone there is doing all right.
I would assume so. Ish. I don't know.
Corsian, can you read Zeps for me?
He says, I am not a Fey, but I am from a tribe far east.
Not the Fey. And he just looks at you again. But you look so much like... No matter. And he just waves his arm, clearly dismissive. Anyway, I'm told you are traveling minstrels, yes? All of this still nicely in common?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. And may I ask, how on earth did you all get through the army outside?
Army outside?
Yes.
That was in character.
Echo. Time to come up with bullshit.
I cast a spell that made us invisible to the enemies.
Roll deception.
19. Plus.
Okay.
Plus
8.
Excuse me?
Deception is her highest stat.
All right, that's fair. I see Zeps is typing. Anyway, I see. That would explain it. Well, if you're not minstrels, might I ask what precisely can you offer us?
Well, we all have a little different things. I can do music. Akira does. Akira, what do exactly is your thing you do?
Akira can fight. Friend has seen Akira fight.
I know Akira
He's
can
looks at
fight.
us like very offended.
Akira, I know you can fight. What else can you do?
Oh, Akira helped Korshin in kitchen one time.
Akira can fight. We have a cook.
Akira can
We
fight.
have someone who can fix things.
You see the
Zep's
lady
here.
of the pair chuckling slightly.
So Zeb says, It was no gruesome effort. They had cloaked through. I can't read.
And they had no eyes to the sky, so I flew in myself, dodging eyesight.
I see. You also need to roll deception.
We have someone that can fix things, someone that could cook, another person that can fight.
Interesting travel group in this time. We have whatever you are, a kitty cat, an owl folk,
12 plus
who's
3.
not a fae, he says.
15.
It just kind of raises an eyebrow at your statement. And I believe, let's see, a human, a half-elf, and he just kind of slows down his speech a little bit on that one. I am also a cat, for the record.
I'm also a cat for that record.
I believe it's a hat. Is it one of the small folk I saw out there as well?
Halfling?
Small peoples.
Yes, the halfling. He just quickly flicks his eyes towards you. And I believe
Also-
a fairy as well, yes?
Yes.
Also, catfolk called Tabaxi.
Baxi.
Tabaxi.
And he slows down the word a time or two, clearly sounding out. Never heard of that one. Quite an interesting travel group you carry, Bard.
I assume.
I'll tell you what. There's only 8 of you. And he just looks towards one of the guards. We will retire back towards the keep. Go ahead and let them in the main areas and see if they can at least entertain the guards for a while. If they do well, you may stay for a week, perhaps 2. It's not like those dragons will be able to get through our walls anyway.
Dragon.
Correct.
Yes. Dragons. And he just looks very confused at you.
Kira got slightly confused with the spell because he couldn't quite see outside of it.
Well, in fairness, the ones that are outside aren't true dragons anyway. There's very few of those around, even now.
Anyways, Zebs also says, Tabaxi are usually nomadic in nature and tend to stick to themselves, so you'd certainly find them out in the world.
Deception again.
They're tribal in nature.
That actually is true.
They are nomadic.
That is actually entirely true.
No, my what I said.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
14 plus 8.
Okay.
So do you let the rest of us in?
Yes. You may indeed all come inside, stay inside the main areas, not the keep itself, at least not right now. We'll see how you do with my men first, of course. As stated, if they like your performances or whatever else you can help with, just looking at the other 2, you may all stay for 1 week. Unfortunately, we do not have the supplies to keep you for too much longer.
It's fine.
At this point, they just smile, give you a very traditional elvish farewell, and leave. not even waiting to hear the reply. All but one of the various heavy armored guards stand and walk out as one, with the last one beckoning you with Elvish again to follow him towards the gatehouse so they can bring in the others with you in full view so they know that you are not harmed.
Krua does not move because he does not speak Elvish.
Here, come on. As I grab your
Corjan,
paw.
can you read off what Zeps just said, and I switch to you guys?
Well, do you have any injured? I happen to be a superb healer.
And that right there is where we'll switch parties for a second. So, for the rest of you standing outside, I believe I heard a question towards Alex. Yes?
Yes.
Well, strictly speaking, since apparently you all were not paying too much attention, I'll blame Zeps for this. I was telling him most of it. He does seem rather forgetful.
Did he write it down in his book?
I don't know. Anyway,
Because
very
if he
simply,
doesn't write it down, he usually forgets to tell anybody.
from what you told me from the necromancer underneath the keep, and for the record, I would like to clarify that you all definitely remember you didn't tell him there was a necromancer under the keep.
I was about to say,
No,
wait,
we
we didn't
did
say
not.
anything about the necromancer.
He just outright said it, however. He clearly said that one for you.
Okay.
From what you were saying, he told you that there was a... from what he was Thank you, Hayes. Oh yeah, Hayes wasn't here for that session.
Nope.
Oh yeah, no, he was not.
Yeah.
Did we not tell him about the
You passed out
necromancer?
right before.
Did we not tell him about the necromancer?
I think you guys forgot to tell Hayes about the necromancer.
I'm pretty sure we told him about the necromancer. He just never paid
I
attention.
think we did.
I don't
I'm pretty
know.
sure we would have. I think we would have told.
You
both
probably
Ian and
would
Hayes.
have, but we might have forgotten. I think we might have forgotten to tell him or Tobian. I think they were both away that day.
Yeah,
Yes, they were.
Tobian, did
That's
you know
why
about
they were
the
playing. That's why
necromancer?
they were playing with the ballista.
Anyway, from what he was telling you, apparently they had sealed themselves in a time bubble. You may, of course, again keep rolling insight on anything I'm saying at any point in time as Alex. There's reasons I remind you people of this.
Yeah, I will be. I'm going to be doing insights. That one's a dirty 20.
Just 3 will do.
18.
How about a nat 20?
He is a lying bitch. You are
Oh,
correct.
By
nat
the way,
20.
a nat 20 plus 3.
Now, what I would assume
And
happened is
21.
they are locked in a time bubble. They still see the events outside of that, which is, I'm gathering, some kind of draconic force. And for the record, anyone who rolled above a 12 that time knew he damn well he was lying about what he believed it to be. And I presume that they're just really antsy. This is entirely truthful. After all, their wizard would have been disappeared for a while, as I haven't seen one on the walls, and they would usually have one out. After all, that's standard to see. And he just kind of trails off. That's why we have one. All true, by the way. Though you did get a slight, almost like he was telling partial truth about their wizard being missing.
He's the wizards.
Holy! I just think I put together.
He's the wizard that's missing from them.
I would presume, unfortunately, that they are probably really, really not so friendly towards outsiders overall. Especially when they're under siege, which, again, all truthful. And more importantly, Bellfire, my friend, you did your best. I don't blame you at all. He just kind of pats you on the shoulder. Bellfire.
Yeah, no.
Ah, okay. I'm like,
Make sure you didn't die again.
Tobian, you still alive?
Goob.
Nope.
Nope.
We've lost Orion.
There he is.
There he is.
I think he waits for me to say goob every time.
After about 5 minutes, maybe 10, you're not sure. It's hard to keep track of time now that you're looking around. You realize you don't see the sun anywhere. It is clearly daylight wherever you are, but you cannot see the sun.
So it's cloudy.
No, we just don't see the sun.
Yeah. You can't see anything beyond a certain radius in any direction, though perhaps you can't see past the keep.
Because of the time.
Because there is this weird, almost solid wall of mist every direction, including up. Certain players should have caught on to something by now, but they still haven't, and I'm very disappointed in them. Two of them in particular, in fact.
I'm having suspicions, but I'm not sure that I know know it well enough.
That's fair.
I also
certainly should. Anyway.
I also have a strong suspicion Trenton knows a whole lot more than what I personally have figured out.
Debatable.
I dropped the dice. I'm sorry.
So,
or he's starting to figure things
out.
All
of a sudden, you guys all see the gatehouse opens again. Your companions are standing there on the other side with only a couple of guards this time. And you all hear in Elvish, "You may all come inside."
Okay.
None of us speak Elvish.
Only Echo.
And Zeps currently for like an hour.
Oh yeah, and Zeps.
But they're both. None of them are outside right now.
I mean, your companions are right next to them.
So did they translate that?
We're with them.
Zeps is waving them in.
Zeps waves them in.
I've hidden both of my masks in my bag.
That was a smart idea. You actually saw Belt while you're doing that, Bellfire. You happened to glance at.
I was gonna try and do it.
You actually glance at Alex, and you saw his hand who was reaching out to tap you on the shoulder right before you started doing that, and then it retracted a little bit, and then he just kind of shifts a little bit in his armor, clearly concealing a couple of pouches more.
Can I mark where those are? Where he shifted them to? Can I mark where he shifted those pouches to?
They are directly now basically underneath his right arm, underneath the chest plate of the armor he's in.
Can I tell about how heavy they look?
Honestly, one of them looks very light. You can't quite tell what would be in there. The other one is a bit more... It seems like it has a very large flap, and you happen to recognize it as a pouch that he's been taking much larger objects out of. So you're pretty sure it is some kind of holding.
All right. Cool.
And you see a very slight thumbs up aimed at you.
Hey, Trenton.
Yes.
Do you remember the trial with the werecats?
Trenton would probably respond, yes. At the moment, I'm not recalling.
Okay,
it's where Dave's got his werecatnism.
Remember, we warped in.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And the entire area was surrounded by a little wall of mist.
Yep.
Oh God,
Yeah,
yes.
I thought
We're in another trial.
And I presume you say this out loud.
Well, he mutters it to Trenton.
Okay.
No,
Trenton.
You two specifically.
Trenton probably would start figuring this out as soon as you said, "Do you remember the werecat situation?" Oh shit.
Hey, buddy.
All right.
Player didn't remember well enough, but yeah, that Trenton would have remembered that.
At this point, you are all
recently enough
in this front area. So excuse me one moment while I move you all.
It's when he described that the area was surrounded by mist that
I'm
clicked.
glad somebody.
Yeah, Trenchant wasn't really thinking about that. He was more trying to figure out what Alex wasn't saying, but as soon as you start pointing things out, he's like,
I'm hungry.
he starts
Yeah.
making the connections, goes,
Am I muted?
uh-oh.
Nope.
Oh,
No,
shit.
you're not muted.
Okay.
Well, we're going to go ahead and end it here so I can grab food and go to bed. No, I'm not muted either. I realize this. Don't worry. So as you all enter the keep, you look around. You can clearly see, and I'm going to zoom out for you. There's a couple of outbuildings, one of which is quite clearly a stable. You see several pieces of siege equipment, mostly catapults, because that's the only siege equipment icon I could find. A couple of ballista are sitting in the yard, all with a fairly large amount of ammunition stacked nearby. The catapults all have both some rocks and baskets of what look like metal shards nearby them. You see a very large well that honestly 3 or 4 of you could jump in at the same time without real issues. What you presume to be a pair of barracks, judging from the shape and size. This is a bell tower. I just couldn't find a bell icon. I am so sorry.
Oof.
This, as they know, is a blacksmithy. And you would presume this to be the main keep in the back. Various elves, all clearly elves, are moving around all over the place. You don't see anything else, just elves. You do, and you see a small infirmary set up right here in this section next to the bell tower. One of the guards, the same tower guard, so to speak, speaks in common this time, so all of you may understand him. I understand you do not all speak Elvish. We all understand you. Most of us cannot specifically, or will not, deign to speak in it, but if you truly need something, you may fan down any of us, and he gestures at himself, and we will translate for you if you need. Otherwise, see what you can do without. But make yourselves at home outside of the keep area itself, and he gestures at the main building. The bell tower is off limits. However, no one goes in there, period. Your mounts, and he gestures towards Echo and Corsian, may be put up in the stables if you so desire. We would prefer that, or you may try to keep them outside, but I think they might be safer inside, as he looks out the gate, which is slowly shutting. Are there any questions before I stop speaking in this tongue?
Why can't friends go in Bell Tower?
The bell tower is off limits.
Why?
Because.
Where can we get equipment so we can have our rest of our party speak in tongues with the spell tongues?
If all you need is the spell components, then you are more than welcome. I believe the wizard is currently in the blacksmithy. He would probably have
something like
plenty of
scrolls, so...
yes, he would be the person to go for.
Alright.
Anything else? I see Zeps is typing.
I guess Corsian would pipe up and be like, ask permission for access to the kitchen.
Zep says,
I am a chef, you see.
He's thinking about it. Can't get any real harm in the kitchens. You may follow me to the kitchens. They are inside the keep, but it should be fine.
I will whip them their hearts through their stomach.
and Zep says, may you point me the direction of the infirmary so I can put my skills to work?
He actually points directly ahead of you at this little tented area that I simply could not find good stuff to set up with, hence why it's empty. where you see a large number of What are you doing, cat? A large number of cots and things with some wounded soldiers lying around in it. But he legitimately just points at it.
Can Crew also go help the kitchen?
Roll persuasion.
Also, mind you, these guys all speak Elvish. They would recognize a Crew's name.
Yes, he did tilt his head at that.
Modifier, where are you at? Okay. That is going to be an 18.
Good enough. All right. You may follow me. And the Corsian, was it?
Indeed.
I would try to keep your helmet or a hat on, if you don't mind. He's looking at you, Corsian.
Noted.
No,
considering a Crew doesn't wear armor.
I don't particularly care, but others do.
I see. Well, good thing I have this helmet.
Exactly. If you hadn't, I'd loan one to you.
Zeus is also asking how many injured there are.
There's about 40 or 50 in various states of injury.
Zebs, remember if you need me, just come get me.
As Echo wanders off towards the blacksmithy, I presume. And at this point, I will go with Tobian, Trenton, Bellfire. Anything from you three?
I'm just trying to figure out what he could maybe do to help. But he also knows that he's got to figure out how we can essentially win this scenario now that he's realized what we're in.
Or thinks what they're in.
Yeah. But win this scenario in such that we end it without, not end in the sense of trying to destroy everything, but to one, break this out of the time loop, and two, get us on friendly terms, completely friendly terms with the elves.
I like your thinking, Zeps. And that is a good idea. Thank you, Trenton. So you're essentially looking around the area thinking.
Yes.
Okay. Bellfire?
Keep an eye on Alex and see where he puts that bag.
Alex is keeping to himself mostly, very clearly trying to stay out of attention, so to speak. And you actually see he almost said something when Echo started wandering off towards the blacksmithy, and he just kind of lowered his arm, looking at the guard, and just slumps slightly, standing reasonably close to Trenton.
Okay.
Tobian, what do you got?
I'm just hanging out, man.
Any particular skill sets you would like to help out with, or are you wanting to more look around and aid if asked for?
I guess, is there like a training area?
There is indeed
Fighting?
a training area outside of the barracks.
Then I'll go there.
All right. You see some of the elves that are in the area kind of look over at you, see clearly that you are a human.
Oh, so they think lesser of me.
They raise their eyebrows, and one tilts his head. And in Elvish, very, very beautiful Elvish, still. Zeps would hear. I guess he's close enough still. Ah! Has the short ears come to test his arm? But clearly aiming at you, Tobian. He repeats it one more time before finally realizing you don't speak Elvish.
Himiko!
And then you hear in common, one of those. Come to test your arm, sir.
I suppose.
And you hear a very obvious trace of annoyance. Well, don't let me keep you. And he waves you towards a small, essentially a fighting ring set up with some ropes, as a crew would recognize.
A ring, you say?
You may fight me. Would you
Okay.
prefer blades, axes, or hammers?
Blades.
Blades? Very well. And he rather than reaching for one of the training blades, simply pulls his own off of his side.
That's fine.
As he steps into the ring. You can tell this blade is honestly one of the most beautiful swords you've ever seen. It is what you would dub a bastard sword or a hand and a half, though this one is much, much thinner than most. It's made of this silvery white metal that you believe Zeps's Cannabo is also made from. And here and there on it, you can see various glowing letters in blue.
Okay. Before I step in, can I transform into my hybrid?
You may.
Just to kind of intimidate him.
No.
Are you rolling intimidation?
Sure.
Do it. I like it.
Just so we're aware, it is 10:30.
Oh yes, this is where I'm ending session. And this will essentially
18.
18. Good to know. He just tilts his head slightly. Oh my. And this one was actually slightly surprised.
Can I follow him out there and just, I'm assuming there's a crowd, right?
There is a small crowd, yes.
All right. I got 20 on the human.
In still in common.
20 on the human.
Yeah.
Several of them look towards you. A couple chuckle with essentially upraised thumbs, and they start passing 20 gold each to a different person.
Yeah, toss mine in there.
He sticks it all in this small pouch, ties it off really tightly, and essentially holds it very close to his chest. All in all, your estimation says there's at least 200 in there. So on that, we will pause and end the session. I will be poking all of you. If I forget to poke you, don't worry. Please, all of you, send me various downtime rolls. Obviously, Tobian will be doing some slight fighting in our chat.
And Zeps has posted his medicine rolls for you.
Zeps is doing some healing checks. Akrua, Corsian, if the two of you wouldn't mind, we'll probably use the on-air text chat for this one, so we can all three see it. We'll be posting cooking and whatnot there. And roleplay, very slight inside, because most of this will be done off air to make it simpler for everyone watching.
Cool.
Bellfire,
You've failed multiple times.
Bellfire, if you would like to make any other checks, by all means, let me know, of course. And Echo, finally.
I have to do performances.
You're going to be doing performance checks and persuasion, probably, if you are trying to buy tongues scrolls from the wizard. Or empty or blank paper, which would be much cheaper, of course. But it is there. We will leave the session. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming.
Good night, all.
Bye.
Night.
All right.